All right, Par. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Tell me, Sai, what are the big takeaways from this cover page with Zoro and the cat?
Maybe this is a hint that Captain Kuro's gonna come back in, but that's all I've seen.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember I made a video saying like, oh yeah, he might have like a minx, whatever, and then like 2 weeks later, or no, like a month later, Oda made that Captain Kuro cover story. He looked really good in that cover story. The one where he's like in the windowsill and he was just like, I forget what he was doing.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
think he was like
random,
reading
bro.
a book.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
window, like behind him was the moon.
Yeah, somebody requested that one, so if you guys are a Captain Kuro fan, don't give up. He's still out there somewhere. Oda hasn't forgotten about him completely. The fan base still exists. I don't
Fan
know, I
base still
like it.
exists.
I mean, with how One Piece has been, like, reintroducing old villains, like, they're making little cameos like Don Krieg and Geen. I do kind of want Captain Kuro, just for the vibes. Arlong, I feel like, is a shoo-in. Like, if there was one East Blue villain minus Buggy to come back in, it's definitely Arlong. Just because of Jinbei. Like, Jinbei, they're literally like brothers, so yeah, that's gonna be a thing later. And then plus Koala is very important too, and I think it's important for Arlong to see what Koala's up to. Just like, hey, she's a
Yeah.
revolutionary now, she's helping fishmen. Arlong's gotta realize that, maybe he's a little bit silly. But it is
Yeah.
what it is. I'm still hoping that he's like a slave at Marie Joie. I think that's still like my dream spot for him.
That would be interesting if he somehow. How would he? How do you lose that hard? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he just lost to Luffy, and then after that, like, it's all, politics. It's like, oh, hey, I got a fishman over here. And then the Celestial Dragon's like, whoo.
imagine Arlong losing to Luffy and like Lucci. He ended up like at his hometown and his his friends ended up saving. And Arlong loses so hard he ends up as a slave at Merijois. It's crazy. Like that might be the
Yeah.
worst off villain for
Hashi got lucky.
this entire time. You know.
Oh my god. It's tough because, like, Oda doesn't kill people. If Arlong gets reintroduced, we're going to have to see Chu and Kurobi, too. It's gonna be like the whole ass
Wait,
gang.
Oda doesn't kill villains? Wait, Sai, what about Big Mom and Kaido?
Brother,
They're
there's
not
still
dead?
1,000 theories talking about them coming back. Like, we'll never get like a narrator box that says, hey, they died due to Luffy's attack. Luffy sent them to an early grave. It's like, nah. Hasn't happened yet.
You know, had I known Loki existed when Wano ended, I might have thought that Kaido was dead. You know what I mean? Like, Kaido's just is probably better off. I was talking about this with Dax. I was just like, Kaido had that energy with rocks. Like, why don't we just go to Elbaf and kill everyone there and dominate them? And it's like, I don't know if you can, Kaido. I don't think you can anymore. After seeing Loki, I don't know.
Loki
Even with
is
all the
essentially
Beast
a
Pirates,
good
like,
guy Kaido. I mean, dude, they share the same
Yeah.
purple feathered cape.
Loki is the size that Kaido thinks he is. You know what like he's like if Kaido was Loki size, then like all of the aura, everything that we got like about Kaido, I would fully believe it. But now that we have Loki and he's that strong and he's that big, it's like Kaido's the size of his big toe, kind of. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
I
It's
wonder,
kind of
dude.
hard.
Kaido versus Loki. I feel like Kaido would win. But, I mean, Loki's still young, dude. He's still young.
I think Loki takes it. I think this Loki.
It depends. I need to see his devil fruit first.
The way I see it is that like Emu ain't talking about anybody the way Emu talking today, bro. This chapter
True.
they know Big Mom. They work with Kaido, you know what I mean? They'll never. I never could have imagined Emu. Like Emu wouldn't say this about Whitebeard even, you know what I mean? And the thing is like Emu was there. Like at God Valley, they saw all of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, we also
I don't even want to go to Elbaf. None of you guys.
Loki's devil fruit is like one of the two for Emu though, so it's like Loki has that advantage. Like it's like he has like a weakness multiplier against Emu.
I think it's also funny because it's like, am I that disrespectful that I don't think that Kaido could hit Ragnar as hard as Loki. I don't think I'm that disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Kaido should have been able to do that same level of damage. He throws a thunder, like what Loki's was unnamed. I know people love to pull that out, right? Like it's an unnamed attack, right? Okay, but like let's just give Kaido a Thunder Bagua. I think he does the same damage, right? Like I know it's unnamed to not named, but like surely Kaido could put a dent in Ragnar, right? It's not
Oh, I
that
think he
much
could,
stronger.
No, yeah, I think
that's
Kaido's still that guy. It's just one of those
yeah.
things. It's like I gotta see Loki's Ilford before I scale him too high, but I mean, could I say that like him versus Kaido would be interesting? No, yeah, that'd definitely be an interesting fight. Like I don't even know who'd win that one, but
Oh, I know it's Loki easily.
I still think Kaido might take the cake for now. I gotta
It's
see
just
more.
for me. It's just Loki. When you put Loki in the thing, it's just that like it's kind of like two Lokis because Ragnar is so cracked.
Yeah.
And so it's like like if you're talking about Loki, you're talking about him wielding. You're not taking away his hammer, right? That'd be like taking away Yoru, right? No one's saying Mihawk versus Shanks, but without his sword, right? So like Loki is kind of disgusting.
But maybe that's a detriment though. Like I feel like there could be a chance that Ragnar gets beaten first. Like, oh, like I'm fighting Loki and Ragnar. Okay, let me just wound Ragnar.
Yeah, but
like you just throw nuts on the ground and Ragnar's like distracted.
And then you still have Loki. And then you have, like, when Ragnar wants to, you just fed his ass, and now he'll fly back in because he's a sentient hammer that can fly. Like, this shit is... Like, the hammer was destroying the castle more than Harold, Scopper, Shanks. You know what I mean? Like, that hammer almost took down the castle when you look back at the panel.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, like not even like when we walked in with the Straw Hats and like, oh my god, a battle took place here. Look at how destroyed everything is. And then it's like, do you see what Ragnar did? Just like not even trying. It was just like whack-a-moling like Loki, and Loki's just like, what is this thing? And it was just like a meme, but like Ragnar unironically did more damage than the fight upstairs did. If Ragnar kept going, the whole castle probably... He might have accidentally killed Harold, like, or everybody, if Loki didn't stop him then. So,
yeah, Ragnar's a monster,
bro.
That. We don't even know what Ragnar even is yet. That's the craziest part.
And the end of this chapter does not help.
Yeah, you know, like, sorry, I'm not well versed in Norse mythology, but I'm pretty sure Ratatoskr doesn't have like ice powers, doesn't have lightning powers. Like, what the hell are we seeing here?
Yeah,
it's insane, dude.
It is. I do like the way Stephen Paul opened up the chapter, though. He shouted me out.
I had a terrible vision, plain as day. He doesn't like you, Par.
Yeah, he's in hearing me shit talking. I had a terrible vision. I should name a channel that, TerraVision.
My God. So, yeah, Scopper, he's gassing up King Harold. Like, dude, if Loki wasn't here, if King Harold just left, he would have brought calamity, dude. He would have just ended the world, essentially. It's like, damn, all right. I mean, I see it, right? An infinitely regenerating King Harold is definitely not a lot of fun to deal with. So I get it. Yeah. But just getting that from, like, the Pirate King's left-hand man, that's crazy tax, dude. It's absurd.
It's wild. I'm reading the translations. It feels very different for some reason than what I read, but it like means the same. It's just like so one of the main things I was looking for was Scopper. When he says, "Does the treasure of Elbaf really have such power, Yarul?" And Yarul goes, "Not that I have heard." That's different than what I read in TCB.
Yeah, in TCB, Yarl says, I had no clue about any of this.
Yeah, no, I actually knew nothing about it. All I know is I get chills down my spine when I imagine what would have happened if Loki hadn't been here today. And then in Viz, not that I have heard, but it chills my spine to think of what might have happened had Loki not been here. That's kind of, that is different. I like the Viz better because it makes Yarul less clueless. Still a little clueless, but like it's not that he doesn't know about the treasures. And then also specifically, Scopper saying like Did you know this sacred treasure would be that powerful in the TCB? Does the treasure of Elbaf really have such power? So I'm like, I don't know what that means. Because when Harold told Loki to go, he said for the devil fruit. He didn't even mention Ragnar. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Harold knows what Ragnar is. Like, in reality, I don't know if he knows it's a squirrel. And so when we got the chapter and it was like, Jarl was like, I have no clue. I actually knew nothing about it. I was like, huh? But now he's like, not that I have heard. So, like, what have you heard then? And when Scopper says Treasure of Elbaf, is he meaning Loki's Devil Fruit? Because Loki's Devil Fruit didn't seem all that powerful last chapter. It was the, like, he went out of his form and that Ragnar and Loki slamming Harold into oblivion. That seemingly is the moment I think Scopper would be referring to. But, like,
I
it's
think he's
kind
referring to
of,
the devil fruit because, you know, like, yes, Loki ends off by smashing Ragnar against King Harold, but
yeah.
the reason he was able to do that is because he brought him down so low with the devil fruit, though. Like, he whittled down his health pool.
It's interesting because, like, that's like inferring, right? Like, because when I talked to Dax yesterday, he was just like, well, Harold regenerated at that point that Loki hit him. He even was regenerating the arm thing. So wouldn't it be that he was at full HP? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what Oda wants us to perceive that moment to be. When Scopper and Shanks are doing it, it was like, oh, he's healing to full and he's completely fine. So it's like, yeah, at that point, he was mostly healed. Does he have like an HP bar that we don't know that like applies there? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that like in that moment, like when he's saying there was actually a means to stop him. Was it the devil fruit that stopped him, or was it Loki slamming with the hammer? It seems like the hammer moment is what Scopper and Shanks at that time was missing. They didn't have that level of burst damage that Loki put out there, and that he wasn't in a devil fruit form. So I don't know. And also the slight difference is like when Scopper says it here in Viz, does the treasure of Elbaf really have such a power? It's almost like he's wondering if it does. Versus in TCB, he says, "Did you know the sacred treasure would be that powerful?" in past tense. So it's like I don't know what Scopper is specifically talking about, but regardless, for Scopper to hold anything to that level, like you said, as the left hand of the Pirate King, I mean, earlier they were saying they were like all basically at the same tier. That guy saying something so elevating in the realm put in Loki's direction is kind of nuts. It's I don't even know like what to do with that information. Like what is he trying to mean by that? Has he never seen anything that strong, or does he not know of anything that strong? Like this is a guy who knows the Void Century, you know what I mean?
He should have
He's
dropped some,
like,
like, Roger parallel. Like, oh my god, like, this is stronger than base Roger.
yeah, like the Giants did with the
Super
Haki
silly.
knot. This Haki's almost or as strong as red hair, right? Like we need some of we need the Jinbei meme, always giving
Yeah.
us the scale
Or like
of
it's like
things.
also like Kagarbachi, where in Kagarbachi, whenever like something happens, they're like, well, here's a little flashback explaining to you how cool this is.
Yeah, they do a good job in that in
They do.
Kagurachi. Yeah,
They do. It sounds cheesy at first, but like it's actually really nice to get like, you know, those antidotes where it's like, yeah, like this is actually really crazy. Like here's a comparison from the old gen. And then like, oh dude, that'd be so funny. Like here's Whitebeard to come tell you how strong Loki's attack actually was. And
yeah,
Whitebeard's like a
yeah.
ghost. He's like, so guys, let me tell you. In my prime, I destroyed 5 mountains. This right here is equivalent to 10 mountains. This Loki
Yeah, and
fellow's
it's
really
even
nuts.
funnier with like Kagurachi, where it's just like, yeah, so that's what they said happened, and this is the truth, and the truth is way more absurd than what they thought. And it's like, huh? Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. That's not fair.
I wonder if people would
Oh
actually like
gosh.
that. If that happened in One Piece.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, God Valley was kind of like that, except in the reverse direction. Everyone was just like, "Oh, it's gonna be this nuts clash, everything," and it was like done. The fighting, like the top tier fighting, was done in like 2 chapters, and it
Yeah.
wasn't between them. It wasn't even between them. It was, it
Sad
was a
stuff.
puppet trick.
Sad stuff. So we see that Shanks has a little flashback of King Harold and his dad. King Harold, obviously very optimistic, saying, hey, I'm going to bring the dawn to Elbaf. And then we have Garling. And it's funny because this seems like semi-disjointed, but I see what Oda's going for. Where Garling's like, hey, son, I love you, man. Speak your desire, whatever you want. It's all yours. You've been so deprived. And, Shanks is just comparing, like, hey, like, Garling treats everybody like scum. King Harold was a really nice guy. And I see the point, but it's just funny seeing that this is Shanks' like, mind. And then he starts grabbing his arm with, like, fury. It's, like, interesting.
Yo, it's mad funny. The Viz really toned down what Garling said, and then he Stephen Fall upped the ante on the next part. So TCB says, this is the main thing, because I went to the dictionary for this one. I was like, I ain't never heard of squalid, but he goes, if you have any wish, simply name it, and it'll be within your reach. He doesn't even say I'll grant it, so it'll be within your reach. That's kind of realistic, but anyways, he says, you've truly endured a miserable, squalid life until now, my poor child. Forget your former life on the surface. The commoners down there don't even count as people. And I think the emphasis of like insult is like the squalid life part. That means it's like extremely dirty and filthy, specifically due to poverty. That is what that word means. I'm like, damn, why did he have to hit him with that? And it's funny because at first I thought he was talking to Harold for some reason, because I just read those two things. And then I was like, why is he saying that to Harold? That's so messed up. And then I realized he's talking to Shanks. I was like, oh, pirate ship, whatever. The Viz says, speak your desire, and whatever it is, you shall have it. Which is funny because apparently he's not guaranteed. He's just like, I'll put it here, and so you can grab it if you want. But then he says, you've been so deprived, my poor son. So there's nothing insulting there. But then he goes on to say, those miserable peons are not people. Forget what happened in the lore.
Good old Garling, man. I mean, that's the thing, right? Celestial dragons, they stick together. He seems like a good dad. He does.
The Viz one is good dad. I feel like it's better dad than the other one, because it took off the part of like on Shanks and he just started insulting the lower people. And then TCB is just like, no, you've been living a filthy, disgusting life. Name your wish and I'll put it within your grasp. But it's also funny because if that were the case, then why didn't you go yourself, Garling, huh? Why didn't you go and pick up Shanks yourself, huh, buddy boy? Huh? I thought everything would be in his wish and in his grasp. Maybe wouldn't you want to save your son?
Could be because of Emu. Emu's like, oh, Garling, I can't lose you. Anybody but you. And then Garling's like, fine, send everybody else then. And Emu's like, yes, Garling, you're worth 10 knights. Everybody else go. Leave me and Garling behind.
When I read this part, I'm not going to lie, I was thinking like, what if Garling was a part of the group that Scoffer like fought
That'd be
off?
so sad.
Yeah, because Scoffer said
it would be hype. I mean,
conquers.
Roger had to have fought somebody.
Do we know Garling has conquers?
No, we do not know if Garling has conquers. I feel like oh yeah, I held the poll. I think like 70 or 80% of people believe that Garling has conquerors.
Yeah, I want to,
but it's
like
not
when
confirmed.
You throw out. I think it makes more sense that Garling personally went to go pick up Shanks, thinking. But when we got the line, it said our captain wants us to pick him up, right?
Yeah.
So that Garling isn't there then. But then they said they've tried multiple times, and so it's like, okay, so Garling never went. Yeah, and then Scopper says, I've never fought a Holy Knight with Conquerors. So then if we want Garling to have conquers, that means he's never went personally to go pick up Shanks,
or he went on a day.
Yeah, he went on a day where Scopper was taking a nap, even though he said that he
I mean, it could just be like a Roger thing, right? Like if Roger fights Garling and Garling has conquers Haki, then Scopper didn't fight a God Knight with conquers Haki, because Scopper's fighting like Saint Somers or somebody else.
Then we have to be weighing the TCB versus the Viz there. TCB,
it's like Luffy, right? Like Luffy could say before Egghead, he could say, "Wow, I never fought a Lunarian," and that's because Zoro fought it, not Luffy. So it's like, yeah. So
then we'd have to be measuring the TCB versus Viz, where TCB made it sound like Scopper solo doloed them all the time. And the Viz was kind of like, yeah, I took care of it and we sent them packing kind of thing. It was just like it was more gray. And then I think a lot of the people in the who like look at the raws in the chat were saying that it's kind of either or. It depends on the context. It could either be he took care of it and that he like always was a part of it, or it was always like a we part, and it depends on the context. But
yeah, in TCB last chapter, Scopper says, "I've never fought one who has conquerors." I like to imagine Garling has it. If he doesn't, that'd be very disappointing. But then again,
yeah,
he is now a Gorosei member, and so far the Gorosei have been pretty. I think it's like 5 for 5, right? No. 3 of them have Conqueror's Haki. 3 of them have shown it explicitly. So people just kind of assume the other 2 also have it too, which I think is very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all on the same level.
No, I agree.
Yeah, they all have Conqueror's Haki. But now we have to like question, like, is the Conqueror's Haki from Emu? Is it their own? Like that's a tough one too. Because if Emu's out here giving out like Conqueror Haki, Abyss Mark Knots, it's like, damn, that's an aura loss.
Yo, imagine.
That'd be crazy.
Imagine. Like Emu just crocheting. Like
yeah, that's what they're doing in the flower room. They're just crocheting knots for the God Knights and the Gorosei.
The Gorosei are just like we get a flashback like 800 years ago. Save this for when you're about to die, and then like we see like Saint Venus like pulling it out of his like back pocket. Finally, and then we just see Emu's Haki. Yeah, Emu's Haki just destroys. No. The best part would be we get the giant speculation that Haki is just a little bit weaker than red hair Shanks. That'd be so funny.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah, I've seen people saying like, "Oh, they're followers. They can't get Conqueror's Haki," but I feel like that notion kind of gets like thrown in the wind when you think about the Conqueror Haki users we have now. It's like if you're simply a follower, like that doesn't change anything.
And
that doesn't mean you can't be a conqueror.
Saturn's the worst follower ever.
Yeah, Saturn's a bad follower at that.
Yeah, so he wanted to conquer something. We just don't know.
Yeah, and just because you're a follower doesn't mean you don't have a will of your own. I mean, I feel like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, all of Luffy's crews are their followers.
Yeah,
but they
technically Zoro's a follower. He has Conqueror's Haki. Like, what are we saying here?
He literally bent the knee to his enemy, his mortal enemy, because
Luffy.
He's a follower. Yeah.
And then Katakuri follows Big Mom, but he has Conqueror's Haki. And he has no ambition either. He's just chilling with his family. Like, Conqueror's Haki is so willy-nilly sometimes. So it's like, it's like, I don't think we could just say, oh, yes, they're Gorosei, they're followers, they can't have it. God Knights can't have it. It's like, no, that's goofy. That's a weird mindset. And then plus, like, kids unlock Conqueror's Haki too. Doflamingo as a kid unlocked it. Ace as a kid unlocked it. They had no real ambition yet. It's like Conqueror's Haki is very iffy.
You're moving the discourse. I saw that thumbnail with the Sanji and the Conqueror's Haki.
Oh yeah,
I liked how it. It's mainstream now, right? Like most people, there's no way that in 2026, most people don't think that Sanji is gonna get. Because when I started, it was most people did not think that Sanji would get Conqueror's Haki. It was a minority thought. But now in 2026, there's no way, right?
I think a majority of people believe he's going to get Conqueror's Haki.
Good.
Yeah. I think it was like 70 or 80% of people believed he'd get Conqueror's Haki. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, he's not going to be useless in the fight. So, like, he's going to get something. Conqueror's Haki is the easiest thing to get him. There's also a chance Sanji gets, like, I don't know, like, different Conqueror's Haki, something that puts him on that level. But either way, it's like, what's up?
Elemental Haki?
No, I was thinking about like maybe like Black Flames or just something that like also permanently wounds the God Knights. Yeah.
Just like his eyebrows swirl, we'll see his eyes swirled into a Sharingan. Oh,
that'd be crazy.
We see Judge say
Sanji's a main fighter, bro. He's not gonna be useless in the fight against the God Knights. Like, I think people just don't, like, the people who vote no generally just, I'm assuming, don't like Sanji. Like, that's the only real reason why you'd vote that. Because, like, even going back to, I guess, the majority of the series, like, Sanji's always been, like, a main fighter for the Straw Hats. You can't deny that.
Yeah. I would say like I think like the large central portion of viewers like that don't hate Sanji but don't particularly like Sanji, they like 4 years ago they would have been like, I don't think he gets Conqueror Sanji. But I think that group is now in 2026 gonna
Dead.
be more leaning to he's gonna have it. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the main thing. It's just like because like the people who hated Sanji is just like, I mean, there's nothing I can tell you, right? But then there's the massive group of people like, Par, you seriously think this guy gets conquerors? I was like, guys, it's not that silly. It's really not that silly. Year after year.
You can hate a character and still expect, good things to happen to them, or like you could expect like where the narrative is going. It's like Dragon for me. It's like, I don't like Dragon, but guess what? I think he's going to be freaking super impactful. He's going to be amazing. Same with Usopp, right? Like you're an Elbaf.
That's me too with the Holy Knights.
That's going to be it. Yeah.
I don't like them, but I want them to be. Well, okay. There's another version of that where it's like, I don't like them, but I want them to be strong because Dragon said that they're his enemy, and now the meme is so reversed that people are like, no, Par and the Holy Knights are never going to be strong because Oda scaled them down to the revs, and I'm like, no, I want the Holy Knights to be here and Oda to scale Dragon.
I want everyone to be strong, man.
It's just like the fact that like people said that and it's not ridiculous of like a sentiment. It pisses me off when Alejandro Solis super chatted that and it was just like, Par, couldn't you see Oda put these two on the same tier? He had to balance it. That's why they suck. And I'm like, no, we don't want both sides to suck.
They suck because Dragon sucks, man. Come on.
No.
Damn it. Yeah, the last thing as a Dragon hater, the last thing I want is for Dragon to be weak, because that would really just mean that we spent all this time building up in my opinion, a lame character only for him to be really lame. It's like, no, don't do this. No, please, anything but this, man. Have Dragon be powerful.
There's also the alternative, which is kind of like the Holy Knights situation where there was a time when we were like, why haven't we seen the Holy Knights anywhere? If they're strong, like surely they've made an impact in history some point. And it's like, oh, we probably don't know, right? And then we find out it's got like, now we understand they were just spawn dying on Scopper or Roger's Pirates. But with like Dragon, there's also a world where he can't actually just be insanely strong. He can't be like God tier strong out of nowhere, because then it makes like all of his inaction not make sense. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're that strong and then like your next commanders are not even close, then it's like, okay, so then like you're hard carrying and you didn't do any carrying. Like your entire organization is literally trying to get these guys to carry to your point, but you're not participating from any point. Like the only time we've seen him participate is Sorbet Kingdom. And even that, like Kuma could have soloed in theory, right? If Kuma wasn't like super soft on the front end and got captured, I think that Kuma could have probably soloed everyone. I don't think they needed a Dragon or Ivankov or the Revs to come in. They just needed them then at that point because he was captured and everyone was captured. And it's like, if Kuma would just like closed his eyes and just went bloodlusted or something. I don't know what people wanted from Kuma, but if he was bloodlusted, if we had bloodlusted Kuma, I think Sorbet Kingdom would be washed. I don't think we needed Dragon there. And that's where it's weird. It's like, if we made Dragon like Loki strength, not saying that'll ever be the case, but then it makes no sense, because then it's like, okay, if you're Loki strong, then none of these situations really apply now. like why didn't you go to Meridra? We saw way less power be more successful there. And you're like, oh, we have to wait to fight the Holy Knights. Like, no, you're not. No, you didn't. You could solo them. Have you tried, Dragon? Have you ever even tried? That's like the main thing, where it's like, I don't think that someone who's never been battle tested can be that strong. And that's where it's kind of worrisome with some of these characters. And that can apply to the Holy Knights too. Like, we don't necessarily know if they're battle tested. Who have they fought, right? That was always a lot of people's takes. But now we find out that they were kind of battle tested. They just didn't they don't come out of training arcs the same way as shonen characters usually do.
Yeah, and I get it, right? They're losing to Rocksteady Zebek. They're losing to Roger. They're losing to the top of the verse. Like, they're not awful. Yeah. But the thing is that, think about it like Big Mom. A lot of people have Big Mom on a lower scale, even though she's a Yonko. It's like, it's because she's the weakest of the Yonko, or at least that's how people view her, right? And it's like the God Knights are the same way. Yes, they are on the scale of like, you know, pirate, king crew, rocks crew. They're fighting these guys, blah, blah, blah. But they're losing. Like, they have no real wins on the board. Like, you gotta imagine, it's hard to, like, it's like an NFL team, basketball team. Yes, they are NFL level, but they rank last place every single time. Like, are you really gonna like be like, oh, but guys, they're NBA players? It's like, yeah, they are, but I mean, they're the bottom of the roster, dude. Like, they could have looked better. And I think Oda had like a lot of chances to make them look good, and he hasn't really taken them, you know? Like, how hard is it to just say, oh yeah, you know, these guys were really powerful. Like, these guys actually pushed us back a little bit. We had to flee on multiple occasions just because we didn't want to deal with them. But instead, it's just like, no, we sliced them up. They, you know, they went home. They didn't really scratch us too badly. Like, no mortal wounds. They didn't take any dead bodies. Like, that's just one of those things. Like, their portrayal has not been good, despite fighting top tiers. It's like, yeah, they don't look amazing, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the comment on the stream, but someone commented this, and I get why they're saying it. Like, I get it. They said, can we stop giving the God Knights shit for losing to top verse people? It's really annoying. Yes, of course, Rock's dog walked them. It's freaking Rock's Dizabek. Yes, of course, Scopper beat the Sommers. It's a top and verse versus someone who's at the bottom of their organization. The Knights aren't meant to be Yonko tier. Oda structures his villain organizations the same. Imu is the boss. Gorosei are the commanders. And that's a major point. The captain of the Knights is probably slightly below them, and the remaining Knights are meant to be opponents for people like Nami, Usopp, and Robin. I disagree on the lower tier Knights being Usopp, Nami opponents. Like, there are other characters that are like Law, Kid. Like, there are those tier characters that are probably going to be. Are they going to be fighting Gorosei members? I don't know, because there's now Loki. Like, there's a lot of characters on that level too, right? Shanks, Buggy, Blackbeard, right? If we're going to put like the Gorosei somewhere, it's there. But then that's also the issue is that after Egghead, or prior to Egghead, a lot of people had the Gorosei at the commander spot. But then after Egghead, it was like, okay, we're holding off for the Holy Knights, because the Holy Knights are going to be more of an issue. And the reason why that's the case is because, okay, let's say that they're commander position Gorosei. I don't think you'd ever see King or Katakuri being like even handled by Oimo and Kashi. And yet that's the case with Saint Venus, is that like we saw him transform in his thing and he couldn't handle like, you know, mid-tier characters. Bonnie didn't even know her like Nika power then. Is fighting two giants, Frankie, Bonnie. And then there's Sanji. Sanji came in once in Blue Moon, but like the strength expectation, not just of the Gorosei, but he's in transformation. Like, he's in a transformation that wasn't even claimed to be a devil fruit. And these things dwarf giants. These things are huge. And this guy just ran ring around Egghead and invisibly sliced every pacifista and cut its circuitry. And then he stops at Moimo and Kashi, gets suplexed. Like I'm not seeing that for Katakuri or King, even in that depiction. And that's kind of the problem. It's like, yes, I get they're fighting top of the verse, but it's like what Sai said. It's not just L's. It's not just that they're getting L's. It's the worst of L's. It's not just L's, guys. They're spawn dying L's. It's one shot off screen L's. Some of the Holy Knights don't even reappear after they taking the L. Like, it's not just like it's kind of worse than Bellamy. It's worse than Kid. Like, Kid, at least we saw him like groveling. Like, Kid, we saw him.
It's one of those things where it's like it's a meme. It's like, but nobody hates the God Knights more than Oda. Like, and that's kind of true, you know. Like, that's just how Oda's been portraying him. Like, you can like the God Knights. I love the God Knights. They're like my favorite faction, dude. I love these dudes. I think they'd be a lot of fun to hang out with, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like their depiction isn't the best. Like, it could have been better. Like, look at any other villain organization in anime. Yeah, we could have been up there. Oda could have made these guys a powerhouse. He could have given them some small W's. They don't really have anything. And, you know, like the whole thing, like, oh, they're fighting top of the verse. Yeah, that's nice, but like literally anybody could fight top of the Squard fought the Roger Pirates, and he lost too. I mean, we're saying, oh, but Squard, you know, just he was fighting Roger. What did you expect? It's like, you know, like what are we talking about here? Like, We can't use that for like as a
Yo,
justification to not
their
shit on these
squad
guys, man.
level. No way. I never thought. Yo, their squad level. They
Yeah, I
also
don't
lost to the
know.
Roger's Pirate. And the thing is, they have the best anime. Like whenever Sai said, "Oh, it's their training arc, God Values training arc," the thing is,
That's my
they
coat.
unironically have the best power to do anime shonen training, which is they can regenerate from anything allegedly. And like to the point that last time I had a realization, I was like, "Yo, they should be trying to die every single day to get stronger." Meaning, like, take the fatal fuel, take the energy steroids, take everything. They should be living life like clavicular. And then they would be doing that power right. The difference between clavicular and the Gorosei is that the Gorosei have regeneration and they can live forever. It's just crazy because then when you see the irony is that like any character that would fight Roger and live, that would be a strong character. And like that's where we get Squard. But the thing is, Squard isn't just fighting Roger, losing, fighting Roger again. If someone fought Roger multiple times and they lived and lived and lived, naturally you would think that they are top of the verse to live that many times. But the difference is that they're not the Holy Knights aren't doing it by merit of their own. They're just regenerating, and the Roger Pirates had no clue how to kill them. That's it. And Scopper was just like, yeah, by the end of it, we figured out how to do it, and I guess it just stopped coming. It's kind of what it was.
Yeah, it's
Like, we
it's
don't
looking
know
bad
why
for
they
'em,
stopped
man.
coming.
I hope my boys. I hope they get a glow up. I'm rooting for
Yeah,
my
I do
guys,
too.
man.
I do too.
And you
The
know, for me, it's
coloration
always
didn't
because
help.
and by the way, you know, people who said it wouldn't make sense for the Holy Knights to be strong. Don't lie to yourself. It would make sense. There's so many
Yeah.
ways to justify it, but that's besides the point. I'm not gonna argue that again. But essentially,
I mean, and it's Garling. Just focus
yeah,
on
it's also
Garling,
Garling
guys.
too, right? That's
Like,
Shanks' dad.
if you guys want to say that to everybody else, you cannot say that about Garling, and you can't say that about Shamrock. Shamrock's an anomaly for a lot of reasons, but Garling, we've seen enough of Garling to the point that we don't know if he has conquerors, guys. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, this is Shank's daddy. How do we not know?
Yeah, and you know, the way I see it too is like the stronger the opponents are, the better fights we're gonna have in the future. That's how I always view it too. Like,
Yeah,
dude, if the
yeah.
God Knights are powerful, oh my god, imagine that final fight against, like, you know, them and Nami, them and Usopp, them and Kid, them and Law, like, etc. Like, all these other Conquer Haki users. Like, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So I always do root for, like, stronger villains just because I think the fights we'll get later in the future will be even better. It's like,
Yeah,
imagine any
yeah.
other villain fact. Like, imagine the Beast Pirates, but, like, King is really weak, you know? Queen is super weak. It's like, well, that's not going to be exciting anymore. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point? Like, there's
And
no
to that
tension
note,
there.
this chapter doesn't really help me out when we get to the emu scene.
I don't know. I feel like the emu scene makes the God Knight thing a little bit better,
Uh-huh.
but maybe that's
Okay.
just me. Because the way emu, okay, I guess we'll just hit there naturally. But let me see here. Where are we? Yeah, King Harold dies. Yada yada. Okay, yep. We're pretty much at the emu scene. We can see that emu's
Yeah.
affected by King Harold's death. You know, they're kind of feeling it a little bit. They're like, hey, there's a price to be paid. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, maybe that's why the God Knights couldn't really go out that much. It's just because Emu doesn't want him to. Like, hey, you know, God Knights, don't go out and fight everybody because, you know, I can't risk it. It's like, there we go. That's kind of good. Consolation prize.
The Viz translation here is a little different. It says, when they said, we shall have it investigated, Harold's Abyss in Elbaf remains intact. Harold's Abyss. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, they don't mean his mark. They mean the thing on the ground.
Yeah.
And the emu says, enough. It'll only be the death of more knights. That's funny. But also the next part,
That's crazy.
performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu. That's different.
That is different, actually. Yeah. Huh.
Every covenant comes with a price to be paid, even for Mu. I guess that would, with the TCB, it would make sense. It's just that way it could be implied that like the situation with Harold directly did that, whereas performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu. It sounds like Mu. That does sound more like a little bit like Horcrux kind of, or like Big Mom's soul a little bit. Like it sounds like Emu puts his soul, like their soul, into every covenant, and it's a cost. So when it gets killed, then that's the repercussion, right? Whereas like in the Saturn situation, which we talked about on stream, it didn't. We couldn't really see any recoil from Emu, but in that situation, it's probably Emu like getting the cost back, like getting the ROI. You know what I mean? It was taking the stock out. The stock didn't crash here. Huh. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I do like the Horcrux theory. Like you have to like destroy all the covenants to kill Emu. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
Yeah.
then Emu will just like respawn or they're just immortal. I think that's nice. Maybe that's how we like uncover Emu even. Like after we destroy all of them, the blackness around Emu just fades and we see their real face. That'd also be kind of
Yeah.
sick.
I have a version of that that works with just the Gorosei, but if the deep sea contracts are also in the mix and there's what, 8 more of those, then um it kind of, but like with just the 5, there's a version of that that really works. And it's not the Horcrux per se, but it's like Japanese something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot tougher with the, because I don't think the deep sea. I feel like if that were the case, like the Horcrux thing, I would have thought it would just be the Gorosei. But now if it's all the like, if is Somers one of them too? Is Killingham one of them too?
I think so. I think it's God Knight above. I don't think like people like Shanks had would affect Emu. Like the
Yeah.
shallow sea wouldn't be what it would that'd be whatever. But yeah, if you have I'm assuming Abyss Plus, like that's pretty much it.
Yeah, which is kind of like, it's interesting because I, again, not skipping, but like the whole Emu coming to Elbaf and being like, "What's taking so long, God Knights?" And it's like, Emu, you know why it's taking so. You should at least understand that you put a ban on coming to Elbaf for your Holy Knights and Gor, or your directly to the Gorosei. And you're like, "What's taking so long?" It's like, "Oh, I don't know. The thing that killed Harold might be lurking there, and you did no job of your own to like vet it, investigate
To be
it."
fair, well, okay, I agree with you on that. But like you'd expect that after 14 years the threat's gone, right? It's like Chernobyl.
No,
It's like, yeah, surely it's not radioactive anymore, right? We're good. We're good.
brother. I'm like, ain't no. If something that killed Harold is there, I'm not thinking it just goes away on its own.
Okay, but
That's
people
some
travel.
wishful-
I'd be like, oh yeah, like surely they moved on to the next island, right? It's like, okay,
Yo.
imagine you get your ass beat by Roger and he's at Fuchsia Village. Are you gonna like 20 years later? Are you gonna say, well, I mean, Fuchsia Village is Rogers. He's over there. Like, no, you assume he moved on.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? Has enough information to weed out like other potential, because Emu was there. Emu was there, like, Harold, go make an army, and Emu knows Harold's at the throne room inside of the castle, up top, like, unless, and
I
then
don't
like
know.
what,
I'm
10
an
minutes
emu
later.
defender.
No, hold on. And 10 minutes later, let's just say max, right? Between that moment and Loki killing him, 10 minutes, all right? In that time, Emu's thought is like, oh man, he got killed by a drive-by pirate. Some random, he must have been hit by a meteor.
I mean, okay. Eve, the thing is that like, yeah, maybe it's just somebody passing by, or maybe it's somebody who lives in Elbaf, but they decide to leave later. Like people, even if you're a resident of that island, you don't always stay at that island.
Yeah, but
You
going back to the
travel.
part
You
do-
travel.
the
Maybe you
part
died of
that
old
you do
age.
agree with me on is the part where it's like, unless, like, even in this interpretation, like, I don't know if physical, like, did Emu take a physical damage, or is it just like, are they like tired? Like, I don't know what this necessarily means. Like, did their lifespan get cut? Like, is Emu like sad, or like, I don't know. Like when we saw the Joy Boy hockey knot, we got more emotion in that moment that we could kind of tell what's going on. Like when
Yeah.
they were saying Joy Boy is angry, is a little bit of fear. We could probably put that there. Here we see Huff. Like, I don't know if they're fatigued, tired, physically damaged. But the part that we do agree on is like, if I was in Emu's shoes and I didn't want to, the Holy Knights were an issue, but I knew that there was a threat. And again, if I'm Emu, I would know how strong I am. But like the perspective that I feel like applies is that Emu's insane. Like Emu should be capable of handling anything mortal, right? Unless it's like some ungodly thing. I don't know why Emu would be off the jump afraid to go themselves to figure out what killed your strongest soldier,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
weird.
if I just invested in a Bugatti and I just found out 10 minutes later it got totaled, I want to know what happened, you know? And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to send my Ferrari and Lamborghini and Porsche. I'm not going to send those to go investigate what happened to my Bugatti because I don't know what happened to the Bugatti. Maybe all of those are going to get killed too. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go figure out what happened. And it's kind of interesting that Emu doesn't for 20 years to the point that the Holy Knights seemingly don't know the gravity because they found out Loki killed Harold. But the energy that Gunko and Shamrock had when they saw the killer was not the energy that it felt like Emu told. Like the Gorosei know that whoever killed Harold is a problem. So when Shamrock and Gunko find out that Loki is the person who killed Harold, that should have changed everything. That should have changed everything in that moment. But it's because they probably don't know the gravity of what that means, and that's where Emu should have came in, where Emu's like, Loki's or Harold's killer is number one priority. If you guys figure out who killed Harold, you should leave immediately. Do not poke the bear. And the problem is they poke the bear and let it live. And it's like, if you're gonna poke the bear, kill it dead. No, if you live this, come find me. It's like, no, don't do that to the bear that killed Harold.
I'd say this. It's different now, right? I think people also have the misconception where it's like, oh, like, you know, Harold's killer, it's scary. The God Knights, they're going to die. But here's the thing, Par. That was 14 years ago. What if Emu looks at it now and he says, yes, if I had the God Knights I had today, I would have sent all of them to Elbaf. We would have dominated this guy. King Harold was strong in the past. But meet the world's strongest God Knight today. And then enters like Saint Somers.
Yeah, and none of them have conquerors.
hey, yet. You gotta say yet. We don't know yet.
Do you think that conquerors we saw from Gunko was Gunko or Emu?
Oh, it's definitely Emus. Yeah, no, there's no way that was Gunko's conquerors Haki. I refuse to believe it.
You know there would be, but Par, we saw Gunko have conquerors Haki, and I'll be like, are we being serious right now? Are we being for real?
Like, yeah, I don't think Gunko has conquerors Haki. I feel like a vast majority of people just believe that it was Emu. I've seen some people saying it was Gunko, majority. But I that's like a fringe niche.
Yeah, we know the annoying comment that like blows your mind is never the majority, but yet it exists.
It exists. There's always like one guy who's like, well, actually, I was Gunko. So I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't hate it if Gunko had conquers Haki. I just feel like we probably should have seen it like before.
Yeah, maybe on some of the slaves that they were killing at God Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm ready for the Holy Knights to be great again. Listen, I'm ready for that.
Hey, please.
I don't think they were ever great.
No, they were great in our imaginations. That's the thing, right? The God Knights were great before we met them. I remember the glory days, dude. The glory days were like, oh yeah, these are like Kaido plus level opponents. They're Admiral plus. Like, I was there. Dude. I was eating it up. I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
You know, and they're like,
it'll break the power scale. They don't leave home, dude. They don't give a fuck about the lower world. Like, literally them being severely busted, it could make sense in verse. It wouldn't be impossible. You think Oda wouldn't right away to where, like, it would make sense for these guys to be super strong? No, he could easily do that. Any mangaka could.
Yeah. And, like, the Loki coming out the gate being, like, a world-ending threat immediately tells you, it's like, yeah, Oda's not afraid of. He didn't just do that with one. Like, Harold
was out in the open seas for 6 years or 8 years actually, and it's like, and Loki's this level and he's just out. Yeah. The God Knights could have been spared something, guys. Come on. It's not insane.
Oh God, it's funny because unironically, that aura, that gas that we had for them, it all came from Dragon. The moment we got the silhouette and that one in the middle looked like Shanks even a little bit. Ooh, it went skies.
The cachet was crazy.
And then we started pulling the veil away, right, with Egghead, and we're like, okay, Saturn's interesting. Okay. And then it got to a point where it's like we separated whatever the Gorosei gave us. We're like, okay, that's not depiction of the Holy Lands. They're separate. It doesn't matter how far down the Gorosei stocks go. These ones are in a trust fund somewhere here. But now, since God Valley, so who emptied the trust? Who did it? That's what's happening right now.
I agree with you, man. Make these guys great again, please. Somebody save us.
Yeah, and I think the worst. It's like the worst part, I think, is Shamrock. And I say that because Shamrock got ejected from Elbaf to unironically be put in a worse depicted situation. Because he was ejected to handle whatever crisis is at Marriage Law. And I'm pretty certain whatever crisis is there is not Luffy and is not Loki. So if it's not Luffy and it's not Loki, sure. Let's if it's Blackbeard and it's Shanks, okay, then we're dealing with like equivalency. But I don't know if it's like what we're gonna have Shamrocks losing to Shanks off the bat, off screen, or losing. I don't think so. So whatever it is, he's losing to something less than Luffy and Loki. And that's the thing it's like.
Okay, wait.
Shamrock
we can't say he's just losing. He's probably winning.
Emu came in here and was just like, bro, we don't got this shit handled. We need you guys back now. And it's crazy because they sent 2 Holy Knights to replace Shamrock, only to want them back. And Shamrocks didn't come back to expedite the situation at all. You know what I mean? It'd be funnier if Shamrock showed up and like, hey, bro, I left you guys. I thought this would be like snippy, and it's like, yeah, but we were playing that game you told us to play. And then,
don't say that too loudly. Guys, let's not talk about the game I wanted to play. Please. God nuts, what's taking so long? Well, Shamrock wanted to play this stupid ass game.
Yeah, you just see them like shooting dice on the ground.
Yeah.
They're doing the Vietnamese squat, just like smoking.
Just having fun.
Yeah, that would be better. That would be honestly, it'd be a better situation than we're at right now. But you know, I as far as like the emu stuff in this chapter, I'm kind of with you too. I'm like holding off. We don't necessarily know what the cost means. I'm coping with like, okay, it's the cost of whatever the Covenant did to Emu that is preventing Emu from like having the confidence to go investigate what happened. And then maybe Emu did go to Elbaf like 2 days from now, and then Loki's gone. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I don't see anything here. Maybe Emu did do that, and we just don't know, because at the end of the day, the castle was evacuated after this moment. So it could be that Emu just teleported in. They're like, damn, I don't really sense Davy here. I don't sense Nika here. I don't sense anything here. And then that's because Loki left. And it could be. I'm not leaving that out. And there's a lot of other stuff. I think the funniest part is just the last part where Emu. I feel like Emu's just crashing out. It's like, never forget that Elbaf is D. It just feels like we're just calling everything that you don't like D now.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You get a D, you get a D, you get a D. Everybody he hates is a D.
Yeah. It's weird because it kind of deflates the meaning. But it does kind of make it interesting, because when we got the Nefertari D Lily, I think that's when it spawned a lot more confidence in the idea that the D wasn't lineage based, and rather that, or it could have been lineage based, but originally it was just like a group. They weren't necessarily like a family or whatever. It was like Luffy and his crew. And then if you were descendants of them or believers in them, then you were D clan. Like if you were Barto, then you'd be D clan to them.
Yeah, you just get it.
Yeah, so like I think ever since then that has been more likely, and adding this into that bag, I feel like it just adds to it, where it's just like on one end it's either if they're allies to Nika or Joyboy or whatever, probably D clan, or if they just Emu just doesn't like you, they'll just label you a D, and you know.
That'd be so funny. Hey, I don't like you, so you know what? I just think you're a D, actually. I'm just gonna give you this title so I can kill you later. Here you go.
Yeah, and then we have one villain who's just like, say it, Emu, just say what you really want to call me. He's like, what? And it's like, tell me I'm a dirty D clan. It's like, Emu's like, you're not that bad. And that villain's like, no, I wanted to be a D, and you're saying it wasn't good enough. It could be we might get some of that too.
Be super goofy
if that's the case. Yeah.
Also, one thing we forgot to mention is that since Emu doesn't really know what happened here, it now explains why the God Knights have like a quote good interpretation of King Harold. Like where they're like, hey, like let's visit his grave, you know? Like it's because they have no idea what actually happened to this guy. They're just like, well, a monster killed him. So yeah, that's cool.
But is that a good thing? I feel like the Holy Knights, especially Shamrock, should know, right?
I kind of like that they don't know, because now they're just like, you know, like they were buddy with King Harold. Like they probably saw this guy's like their Nakama and stuff. Which you know I was gonna say, like, it goes back to like what Scott was saying in this chapter where he said, hey, you know, Loki doesn't know about King Harold's dealings in the Holy Land. And now these knights who have connections to King Harold, they're here. You know, they have deep connections to him. And it's like, whoa, okay. Like, I wonder what that means, but obviously, you know, it doesn't go into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think like that we're gonna see like that these guys are like, hey, I'm here to avenge my friend.
It's just interesting because I feel like on Emu's side, the prerogative is to be transparent about Harold in some situations. But the thing is, like, I guess the alternative is if you have someone with the same composition as Harold, right? Because then you don't want defectors. But in reality, it doesn't matter. Harold would have lost. Not lost to Loki, meaning lost to Emu. If Loki was not there, Harold would have won. And unless Emu expects there to be more Loki level resistance, there should be no fear really in anybody kind of like revolting against Emu, because not even Harold could do that. And so I just feel like not giving the information to people who have ultimate control over is a detriment to yourself. And, you know, is imperative in moments like this where it's like Emu, one way or the other, is going to have to fight Loki, I feel like, or Loki is going to be, at the minimum, be one of the most antagonizing forces on Elbaf. If it's Luffy versus Emu, sure, but that just means Loki's handling everything else. I don't even think Zoro and Sanji need to be there. I think Zoro and Sanji could just be catching people from falling, and Loki could handle everything else. He's that strong. He could separate. He'd be like, Ragnar, go, and then like a Pokemon trainer. But then the Pokemon trainer's also a Pokemon, and he could just do his own things. Like,
well, I don't know yet. You can't forget. Shamrock said that there'd be no difference if Loki was unchained. He'd still beat him.
Yeah, he's talking out of his ass, bro. Like,
we don't know that for sure,
like,
man.
Garling saying any wish is yours. Meanwhile, he couldn't pick up his own son. Sommers is like, I'm invincible. He starts pissing his pants when he sees Scott. He's like, what are you doing here? And it's like, bro, like, it's just the Holy Knights off of God Valley. They were like, band together. Guys, it's time to take on the pirates.
Like
Goes take on pirates, gets one
he's
shot.
Like, hey, believe in Luffy. That's me with Garling and the boys. Like, believe in them, please. They're not done yet.
Every time they mobilize, they get mobilized on. Like, it's every time. It's just so funny.
Which is why I think they should win here in Elbaf. I believe in them.
Yeah, but it's called Elbaf. If it was WBAF, maybe.
No, Elbaf for the Straw Hats. Yeah, it's Elbaf for the Straw Hats. Just wait. The boys are gonna show out.
It'd be funny if they were like, we're gonna name this place WBAF after we win, and then they lose, and it's like, all right, I guess we'll call it Elbaf still.
I guess we'll stick with the OG name actually. So yeah, I think it's kind of nice just seeing like that Emu might potentially have like a crazy weakness, but I mean it's a weakness, but it's not something that we wouldn't have done anyways. Like, thinking back to all of One Piece, we always defeat, like, all of the villains and then the main villain at the end. But now it just makes it, like, more of a requirement, I guess, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But one thing that I thought was just so funny is that after they're done with this flashback, Scopper really does say, hey, I can tell you more about these people, man. And then they're like, nope, Scopper, save that for a later time. Let me see, what does he say in the viz? As a matter of fact, these newly arrived Knights of God played a pivotal role in Harold's story, but Loki still doesn't know exactly what happened to Harold in the Holy Land. If you need more details, I can explain. And then they say that won't be necessary. And it's like, damn, I can't wait to see it, man, because like the God Knight aspect was one of the main parts I was looking forward to during the flashback. Just seeing King Harold hanging out with the God Knights. And it's like, we didn't get too much of that, right? We got like a couple panels here or there. But I do think there literally is like a lot more to that story that we haven't seen.
And you know whose fault it is? It's not they. It's none other than Hyruden.
Yeah, it's Hyruden's
Hyruden.
fault. You stupid asshole! Why, Hyruden?
This is why Loki's king, brother. Come on. This guy really said that won't be necessary. I'm sorry. Do you know what he's gonna say? I think you're gonna want to know. They literally asked, how did they manipulate him like that? That's really important. You want to know why? Because we don't want Loki to get manipulated like that. Like that is the overarching thing that I think is like super important here, is that in all like the criticism, not criticism, but the critical aspects of Emu, the Gorosei, the Holy Knights, the reason why they're so problematic isn't themselves necessarily. Everything about them could have stayed true and it would have been fine had Loki not existed. Loki's so strong that that's why it's such a significant problem. Like Harold and Loki were that much stronger that they overshadowed. Harold himself overshadowed the entire thing, and Emu admits that in this moment. And now you have Loki, who's apparently even stronger than him. And it's such a threat that Emu barred coming here, period. Not everybody go. No, it was nobody goes, which is an insane bar. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, I can't see a version of like a Kainu going like, oh, there's a threat in the silent. I'm going to send no admirals. No, I'm going to send everybody, and if soldiers die, so be it. Like the three admirals are gonna stand on business, we're gonna kill this thing, right? I just don't see a version where it's like a difference here with the Holy Knights. And it's funny because when Hyruden says that won't be necessary, off of the question, how do they manipulate Harold like that? It's like, no, it's very necessary, Hyruden, because your brother could be manipulated just like your dad, and we don't know what the issue is. And apparently Scopper has the answer. Apparently Scopper will be like, yep. So what we got to do, guys, is make sure Loki stops getting tattoos. That's a very problematic thing. And let's make sure he doesn't get diddled. Okay, guys? Two things. Two objectives. No tattoos and no diddling. Because that's what we let Rocks get. We let Rocks get diddled on God Valley, and that shit went under real quick. And that's... If Loki gets Dami reversied, I don't even know if Luffy wins. Like, unless Luffy just does some like Toon Force type like thing that we don't know. Dami reversing Loki might be the strongest thing since like Top Musica. Like literally.
Dude, if Loki gets Domi Reversi, that'd be so funny. Like, Oda introduced
Yeah,
such a strong character just to turn him into a bad guy.
I think that is part of the reason why. Because like when you
Could
think
be.
about the whole flashback, the flashback gives us a perspective of strength because of Rocks. Now we know how strong the legends are. That character got equated to the King of Elbaf, and that King of Elbaf got a steroid buff, immortality buff, and that character got cleared by Loki. That's the result of the flashback. Now we know that when Loki rumored to be able to 1v all of Elbaf at the beginning of this of the arc, we know that that is actually true. There's truth to that statement. When Loki was just like, I have my hand on Ragnar, right? When Hyruden shows up, and they all stop. That's valid now. Like, you know what I mean? It's 100% valid. The level of strength that Oda gave Loki through the flashback validates all the fear that Elbaf had for him. And I do think that if Oda were to do something with him, and we don't think that the cards are stacked against the Emu, it's just that Loki would be the greatest vessel for that thing, and it's seemingly now Emu's given up on taking it organically and just started Dami reversing everybody. So why didn't they do this 20 years ago? It seems like Emu just like, all right, I'm done with trying this the easy way or the manipulative way. I'm gonna straight flip the board. I'm gonna flip the table, and I could see them just try to get Loki immediately, and that could be the antagonist. Like it could be something like that. And we don't know if Rocks and Harold could not resist either. They couldn't resist the Abyssmark, and they couldn't resist the Dahmerverse. So I don't think Loki could either, despite how strong he is. So
I
unless
think
Ragnar's,
he might be
like,
able to just because of the devil fruit.
yeah, there's a version where that is true. That is true.
I'm assuming it's going to be like the Nika fruit. I think it's just going to be a hard counter.
Yeah, but giving him a hard counter, that's
I mean,
like...
it already was introduced as a hard counter, though, to be fair.
Not necessarily. Like him saying that it's necessary for like the world to change doesn't necessarily mean, like it's kind of like, is Poseidon valuable in the fight, or is Poseidon valuable in taking down the red line? There could be utility, or there could be like straight up battle stuff, right? So like when Roxas, he doesn't know what the devil fruits are per se, but like even if he did, maybe the usage of it's not necessarily direct counter. You know what I mean? Nika's is interesting though, because like we aren't sure if Rox meant Nika's fruit, right? Because like a lot of people thought that, okay, one fruit's on on Elbaf, and a lot of people in that subsect thought that that fruit was Nika's fruit. And so
Yeah.
then when we got that flipped on its head a little bit, now it's like, okay, so then is the other fruit Rox talking about, was that the Nika fruit, or was that Blackbeard's fruit, right? Because a lot of people thought that that was Blackbeard's fruit from the jump. So it is interesting when you kind of paint like, what is the counters for Emu, and is Nika inherently the counter, or was Nika, world government side for some reason? I don't know, but yeah, but I can see what you're saying. Like maybe his Delph fruit is just like
Yeah.
immune.
Just another
Can't
like
be flipped.
liberator fruit per se.
Mhm.
I think that would be super crazy. So let's see here. Where are we? I mean, it's a pretty short chapter,
Chains
actually.
came off.
Yeah, chains come
yeah.
off. Hiredin says, "Hey, man, I forgive you for our dad and all that stuff. I understand now, but the other stuff you've done, man, I still don't like you that much." And it's like, that's hilarious.
What other things?
I probably just like bullying him when he was a kid, I'm assuming.
Holding that for 100 years is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a giant, it's like, it seems a little bit silly. I mean, maybe it was like more than what we saw. Like that's my
I hope.
headcanon. Like maybe Loki just
Yeah.
beat him black and blue like every Tuesday.
He made it this far.
I mean, you could say the same about Hiredin. Like we're like, oh, the God Knights, they're sparring the Roger Pirates. Hiredin's been fighting Loki, dude. Oh my god. That's crazy. Don't forget, y'all.
Yo, when you think about how sad that is, imagine Loki seeing the mock Vice fight.
Dude. Oh, if
Loki would
Loki saw
cry.
that fight, he'd be so sad. Like, bro, Hiredin, dude, what? You're losing to Mock Vice?
You'd beat him up every Tuesday harder. You'd beat him Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, you need more training, brother. What? Mock Vice almost cooked your ass? You're the Prince of Elbaf.
Yo, that's so awesome what you just did there. Yeah, if the Holy Knights should have got stronger than Roger, so should have hired it. Yo, hired. The thing is, I think the reality is Hiredin left the island so often so you'd miss Tuesday.
Yeah, Hiredin left just so that he stopped getting attacked by Loki. That's it.
Yeah. And he's just
the real
like,
reason.
he's like, he's S tier mercenary in Buggy's crew, but like Loki, he goes back home. He's still just like the getting swirlies pushed into the locker.
It's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, Hiredin can only really thrive under Buggy.
Yeah.
Like, only when surrounded by Buggy's gang does Hiredin shine a little bit. They made Hiredin feel
It'd be
special.
mad funny if like Buggy's just like, oh, we have a mission for Elbaf. Oh, Hiredin, you're perfect for this. We need like this animal thing. Someone's requesting it. And then Hiredin's like, please no. And then he like reads the description. It's like, gather the berries next to the tree.
Yeah. There's a guy named Loki guarding what you're looking for. Whoa! No!
Oh,
Starts
God,
freaking
it's
out.
so funny. He just starts panic attacking. And then like Gerd has to explain, oh, he's gonna be out for months now.
Yeah, he's never coming back, Buggy. You made a mistake.
Yo. Buggy's like, huh? What happened? Oh God, that is so good. Hiredin, man. I think Hiredin is. I think this is gonna sound crazy. I think Oda dislikes Hiredin more than the Holy Knights. I think.
Yeah. We should make a list of like characters Oda hates. Hiredin's up there. You said this earlier for Loki, and I feel like it's true for Hiredin instead. You said that Loki's a prime candidate to get Domi reversed. I think that's Hiredin. Because if Hiruden gets Domied, that would make him the same size as his as his little brother. I was about to say big brother just because of the size difference, but yeah. Like, if Hiruden gets Domi reversing, maybe he could finally get revenge on Loki for all those years of abuse. And then Hiruden will also be the same size as Loki, too. Even playing field.
That's what I thought before the flashback. I remember I was thinking, like, as soon as we got it, I was like, as soon as we got Domi reversing, which is just before the flashback, in 1150, I was like, 100% Hiruden is going to do the Vegeta. And he's going to purposely get Domi reversing to fight Loki. But now, after the flashback, Loki's too strong. There's no point. Like, Hiruden would still lose. Hiruden would die probably faster because he's bigger now.
No. I got a lot of respect for Hiruden as a demon, dude.
I would, if Hiruden gets like, Hiruden could get Dami reversing and the Majin M on him from Bibbidi, right? And he'd still lose against Loki. He could,
I like how you said Bibbidi too. Not even Bobbidi, just Bibbidi.
Bobbidi?
So they're both characters.
Yeah.
Bibbidi is Bobbidi's dad. Yeah.
Oh,
so Bibbidi is the one who originally created Majin Buu, I think, and then Bobbidi the son later brought Majin Buu back.
Got it. Well,
so that's why it's like Bibbidi, right. Bobbidi, and then Buu. It's like the meme.
Yeah, so Bobbidi couldn't remake all that stuff, but Bibbidi made all the stuff, right?
Yeah. Bibbidi, I think, is like the quote, stronger sorcerer. And then Dabura got so much, like, cachet in in Daimon, if you watched it, but the way they explained Dabura, he was like an actual, like, super strong king of hell that Bobbidi managed to take over. It's like, geez, all right. It's insane.
Dang. Yeah, so my statement still stands. Even if Hiruden found Bibbidi...
No, your statement does not stand. No.
Yeah,
you are a Hiruden hater, so much so to where you can't see reality anymore. You can't see the...
No way.
What did Stephen Paul say? Like, you can't see the trees from, like, the woods or something? You can't see what the grass is telling you?
Listen. I think that Hiruden... I think not only does Hiruden lose to Ragnar, I think Hiruden dies to Ragnar. Like, that's how, like, if he broke his hand on Mach Vice, he's dying to Ragnar in that clash. If Hiruden went with the strongest punch, 10-kilogram thing, and all of his bones shatter all the way to thing, and then you gotta imagine that the other end of that punch was Mach Vice. If you swap Mach Vice for Ragnar, I'm pretty sure Hiruden dies. I think Hiruden's just in the ground already.
No, that was like the legendary attack Gungnir, though.
That was a legendary attack Gung. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hiruden's attack is Gungnir, dude.
Yo, so yeah, he hits Ragnar with the Gungnir, and then Ragnar becomes... Like, he eats Gungnir. He becomes Ragnar, and he has a child named Gungnir in that clash. That's what happens. Kind of like how Goldberg's dad, like, fought Big Mom, and then he got a sentient shield out of it. That's what it would be like. It's just abysmal. There's no saving Hiruden. Hiruden's been hated since Dressrosa, and now it's even more apparent. Like, Loki shows up at Dressrosa, and there's no problem, right? Like, that's the reality of it. Hiruden's little brother...
I don't know. Would Loki just be a Doflamingo puppet, though?
No, absolutely. Because, like,
Doflamingo would just use his strings and go like this, and then Loki be done.
Oh, yeah. There's no, like, that. Fujitora would have been cooked, too, 100%. There's no shot.
Yeah, Fujitora stood no chance, man.
The reality is, Doflamingo couldn't do that to Ragnar. So he would be cooked by the hammer. The hammer solos Dressrosa.
It's so funny thinking about how, like, I just finished Dressrosa. It's so funny, like, seeing how scared he was of, like, Kaido and his gang.
Yeah.
It makes sense. The scaling gets insane in One Piece, brother.
Yeah. If Doflamingo ever stepped foot on Elbaf as a warlord, he would have just quit, I think.
Yeah, he would have lost instantly.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
Like, yeah, you know what? There's no new era that I could bring on when these monsters exist.
Doflamingo looks around, starts laughing, and then he just leaves.
Yeah, he becomes his own Bellamy. That's what ends up happening. Just
I
a
hope
hyena
Doflamingo
cackling.
comes back with like a lot of heat though.
Oh yeah, that's also the issue with Loki. Is like, you know how like we said like, oh yeah, Anel comes back with Haki, like Crocodile's gonna be cracked. Yeah, guys, I don't know if we can scale any of the characters up to Loki. Like Loki's above, like where anybody could be scaled up to post their arc. Like, like what Katakuri shows up? No, like King. I feel like Loki hits King with the flame on, and King's like, God damn, like I think he dies.
You know, it's funny because earlier we were talking about like, oh, God Knights, do they have Conqueror's Haki? Garling, does he have it? Dude, Doflamingo really should have been led into into the Holy Knights because he does have Conqueror's Haki. He would have been like their number one soldier too. That's the craziest part.
He wanted to be
there.
And the deep sea contract forces obedience.
Yeah, it forces obedience. Why would you not take Doflamingo? Like that makes
Maybe
less and less sense every day. It really, and then plus they have to bend to his whims anyways because he knows about like the sacred treasure, whether that's like Emu or something else. We don't know yet, but he knows something about them that they don't want public. Let him in. Let him in.
No, you're 100%. Doflamingo, in hindsight, especially after this flashback, Doflamingo should have been there. Period. There's no real reason to. He took care of everything.
I understand his rage now. If anything, I get it. I'd be upset too.
Yeah, he did like everything. He killed his dad. He slaughtered civilians. He's like the most Holy Knight coded.
Dude, like, he said, Dad, where's the slaves? He loved the lifestyle. And I saw somebody say this, and it's true, but legitimately, Garling is the dad Doflamingo always wanted.
Yeah.
Like, if you put Doflamingo in Shanks' position, Doflamingo would be smiling, like not a worry in the world. He'd be living life. Like, if anything, I feel kind of bad for Doflamingo now. I'm not gonna lie.
What if
I'm just like, dang, dude, he really got done dirty by life, by Oda.
What if he did have the mark, and you know how like they were like, oh, he repaired his organs with string, and we're like, bullshit. It's like, no, that was actually just the abyss mark, and like Oda just because they couldn't see inside Doflamingo to see him stitching up his organs. It was just Treble being like, haha, he's so good with his fruit, he can stitch up his organs, and Doflamingo's like,
nah, the way the anime did it seems so concrete.
All right, fine. We'll hold anime canon. Even Dressrosa's anime is held to a degree, just because Sai has recency bias for it.
Yeah, hey. I like Dressrosa. I always have, more or less.
Oh God,
it was never a bad arc.
Like,
I just think that the, I mean, obviously, like the pacing in the anime is kind of what does it dirty.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
But if you keep your finger on the skip button, it's not bad. I had that on like 2 times speed the entire time.
You know what's even crazier? Doflamingo's so Holy Knight coded that he was the only character of the Holy Knights to actually use the CP0 like the way that like I envisioned it. He was manipulating them up, down, left, right. He was spamming codes. None of the Holy Knights has ever interacted with CP0. And it's like, why not? Like, how do you not know anything about Elbaf? Just send a CP0 agent. If you're worried about the Holy Knights in the deep sea, send CP0. You're sending them everywhere. You sent them into Kaido's castle.
Doflamingo's out here just mogging on him, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I am in the Warlords. I'm not in the Warlords. He's disgracing them. Like, it's like, Doflamingo's perfect. Emo should have been looking at that and be like, my God, how come none of you Gorosei guys told me?
It's one of those things. Yeah, he could have been Gorosei. Dude, dead ass. Doflamingo could have been Gorosei one day up there with Garling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could legitimately, like, old Doflamingo. Doflamingo as like an 80-year-old, 70-year-old guy up there with old Garling. Gorosei members, they're the next generation Gorosei. God damn it. He's like the Kobe of the gang, dude. Like, it's so much potential on Doflamingo just being wasted. Whoever was the Gorosei member or the God Knight that said, hey, don't bring Doflamingo in, kill him. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're Emu, you got to kill him. Like, what an awful decision not to bring Doflamingo in. Like I said, he has information that you don't want public. Like, what are you doing? Why not let him in?
He hasn't released it. and he wants to be with you guys so badly.
The craziest part, and yeah, his dad made a mistake, but the thing is, there's other Mosgards up there, or not other Mosgards. There's Mosgard up there who's also a Don Quixote. Just tell him to go live with his uncle. Like it's not absurd, man.
Yeah, true.
His uncle is
with
there.
His cousins.
Yeah, send him with the cousins. I can't wait. Do you think we're gonna get a Don Quixote God Knight?
I'd hope so. Like my thing is I'm kind of like business marketing coded for like Oda, and one of the innate issues with the Holy Knight or the Gorosei originally, and now it kind of applies to the Holy Knight mainly because how they're colored, is that like one of the things that drives, and One Piece doesn't need it, but like, you know, it's still a thing. Like we want, you know, the One Piece edits, the thirst trap. They can't do that with the Gorosei. They can do that with like what Aizen and Gojo and the villains in JJK. They could do that day and night. We can't do that with the in Bleach. We can't do that with the Gorosei. And now we can't really do that with the Holy Knights either because their colors is like you can't make a meaningful thirst trap to the people who don't know Oda and don't know One Piece. If you had some like 14-year-old kid scrolling on TikTok and he sees like a clown who's trying to dress nicely and is like a crazy hairdo, it's like, yeah, that's not gonna pull them in. You know what I mean? There's like, what the? And
no, I completely agree with you. Like, One Piece needs a good-looking like villain to thirst trap over. Like every series has it, man.
Yeah, and Doflamingo and Shanks. You already have the Shanks clone, so you got that. But if you threw in Doflamingo in that thing, people were doing that with the warlords. People were doing it. Boa, you know, Mihawk, Doflamingo, Crocodile. My God, we if they had like a succinct like arc where they were a meaningful band of pirates, like we're gonna get in the future. But we've already got that when they called like the seraphim on them and like they were invading them. That the animator did like that like they took the manga panels and made a whole like clip out of it, and people use that day and night. You can't really do that with the Gorosei or the Holy Knights, you know, unless Imu's a baddie. Like it's not gonna go off well. Like if Imu's so bad that you could put these old men next to her, then you could do it because Emu would carry. But like if Emu's a dude, you can't just have hot dude and like the Gorosei. You can't. It doesn't work the same way.
Unless Emu brings them back to their prime, which would be really cool.
Oh, true. That would work.
Like that would be nice. Yeah. I think Emu can buff the God Knights. You know, all that to say, I think Emu can and probably will buff the God Knights. I think it has to happen. Like here in Elbaf, right? If Emu sees the God Knights losing, I cannot envision a world where Emu doesn't help. Like, let's say Saint Somers is about to die, and Emu knows the price, right? Emu knows the price. Like, oh god, like this is gonna be really bad for me if Somers dies. Somers, here you go. Here's extra abilities. Here's extra power. And then Somers gets like 10 times stronger.
There's an alternative. I agree with you. I think like the prime, like the Ice Oni. I think Emu could do that with the Gorosei, and that would be nuts. If Emu sends all the Gorosei to their prime, we get Garling looking like Shanks but with white hair, for example. Amazing. I'm gonna make thirst trap edits to beat.
Yeah, you're gonna be that guy.
But like there's the alternative where Emu does the reverse. Emu sees Somers about to lose and just ejects him like Saturn and pulls back it's like, you waste of space, and we just see him shrivel to death.
That's also possible. Like, hey, Somers, you're gonna lose? No, you're not, because you're going home. You're gone.
Here loses. If Emu, and I'm not saying this perspective makes sense for Emu, especially with this chapter in part, but if Emu mogged Somers and like, if I had just your abilities, I would win. And that is why, like, you either die with these abilities or like you're not getting a buff. You know what I mean? If Emu was that level of villainy, then sure. But we don't know where Emu's at. If Emu's like that calculating, or just huffing their own paint. Yeah, I want that. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah, everybody wants like a good, competent villain.
Yeah.
And, maybe Emu starts, like, coaching Sommers. Like, hey, Sommers, you can use your ability like this, right? And then Sommers is like, whoa, huh?
Dude, if Emu's a sensei, oh my god, we're not putting it against Gojo and Kakashi. Woo! One Piece fight, because we had Rayleigh, but no one's ever realistically put Rayleigh against Kakashi and Gojo, right? Even though you technically could, no one does it. But if Emu's out here coaching, ooh.
Yeah, it would be like
good business angle.
Damn, what's a good equivalent? I guess you watch Kuroko no Basket, right?
Yeah.
He'd be like Akashi. He
True,
put everybody into the zone.
Yeah. Yeah. See, no, you're 100% right. That is how Emu should be. I just don't see it yet. And you want to know why I don't see it yet? God Valley. That could have happened at God Valley.
So God Valley, my new cope is that Emu knew that, obviously, they die. It's bad for him. So Emu said, hey, God Knights, I'm showing up. You guys go home for now. You guys bow out so that I can't die here.
You know what my new cope is?
What is it?
Yo, Garling got up and thought he beat Rocks. At the end of the day, there's a reality where Garling didn't even know that Emu showed up.
Hey, it could be possible. I'm not mad at the cope.
Yo, he gets up and he looks at Rocks. Did I do that? And then like Maffy and the other, who's the other person? Sommers, Maffy and Sommers like, Garling, I think you did it.
I think you did it, buddy. You killed him.
They all got knocked out for the entirety of Emu. The reality is they might not have known that Emu showed up. Yo.
Garling looks around. I dummy reversing him? I did.
Yo, they never acknowledged. No, Garling never said like, oh, great Emu took care of Rock. No, nothing like that, right?
No.
Oh,
never got it.
This is like the Law flashback thing, but like way funnier.
The Law, Law made up his flashback to make people feel bad.
Yeah, Garling could unironically just be like, just wake up like, shit. I didn't know I had it in me.
No, imagine that's like the rumor in the Holy Land. Like, rumor has it that whenever Garling gets really powerful, he blacks out and he doesn't remember the battle. And when he wakes up, he wins. He's like Hakuba.
Yo.
Yeah, he could be like Hakuba.
Yeah, and then so he's just like, we see him next fight, and then like all the Gorosei mobilize, he goes to sleep. He just is like... He's like, oh, last time I did this, I beat Rock. So he just like knocks himself out.
He's just like, hey guys, like I'll take care of this one. Don't worry. Hey guys, this one, it's on the house. He just goes to bed.
This, I like your cope. I like my cope. I like that your cope led to my cope.
all the cope for the God Knights, man. They need something. They need somebody to believe in them, right?
Emu told them to pull out, and I'm like, we don't even know if Emu spoke to them. Do
you think they had like a mission briefing after God Valley? Like they all like had a little powwow.
They're pretty organized, right? Maffy is just like, I was ordered to do this, and it wasn't like by Garling himself. I don't know if it was like that. So it's like they are kind of organized. And they have a temple and religion. Surely. Oh, do you think that they're gonna have like, like church and state, like separating them out, but like they have like the Pope that's like separate from Emu, that's just like huffing, like not actually strong, but they like actually dictate the. No, that wouldn't make sense unless they have powers over the Dominator or the Bismarcks too.
I mean, it could be like the judges at Enies lobby, just like randomly there.
Those guys are kind of cool. Yeah, Baskerville, right?
Yeah, Baskerville. I mean, kind of cool is a way to put it. They were kind of fucking lame, dude.
Yeah, okay, fine, but that's like pre-time skip. They were cool because they were just like big and like they were strong. It's just like not meaningfully
strong. Strong is such a funny term. How strong are we? How strong is Baskerville, Par? Please enlighten us. Enlighten the classroom. How strong is Baskerville?
Well, I feel like I remember Baskerville
Comparative to like
not feeling.
CP9 on the island, how strong is Baskerville?
Oh, against CP9, they were like narrow level, right? I feel like that's fair.
No, that's nowhere close to the truth.
What? Do you don't think that they were narrow
No,
level?
Nero would whoop this guy. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm forgetting narrow because I thought that Baskerville was fine until Zoro showed up, and then Zoro just showed up and did like that, the like woo, and then just sliced through everybody. Is that not? I forget
No,
what happened to
Baskerville
Baskerville.
lost to the Tilestone. Tilestone and Zambi, the Frankie dude.
All right. All right. People would be like, "Yo, Par's washed." My bad for getting Baskerville. And no
Yeah,
way,
Par
that's
forgot
how
about his
ass he
goat,
was.
dude. What the hell?
I was not my goat, but like he's what is he, a Siamese twin giant guy? Like this guy was huge, right? How
He's
tall
not
is
a
he?
Siamese twin.
Wait,
What it is that it's three people in one shirt.
all right, I just
It's three
mixed.
people in one shirt. You
I
don't even remember
forgot
what he
about this guy.
is, and you're gassing this dude
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Guys, never
yeah,
take
yeah.
Par
I because
seriously. I don't even know what
immediate
he's talking
I
about.
immediately I saw it. I was like, oh my god, they have different birthdays. They have different ages:
Yeah,
48, 52,
Baskerville.
42.
They're twins. It's a trio.
No, they're not
One
even
of
the same age.
they're just the family members. One of them is like
See, you don't know shit
large.
either. You don't know. You thought there are three of them, and you called them twins.
Hey, sorry,
Stop
sorry to read
having
the
them
memory
triplets.
card for this guy. I just know what happened in the
It's
anime.
not.
All right. Yeah, like they're three guys. One of them slightly larger, and they all just like sit on his lap and put a shirt on.
Why did Oda even make this guy?
He had to give Polly and the boys like a high extreme diff battle.
Yo, I'm looking at them. These guys might be the worst
Like
characters.
Baskerville was running the gauntlet on the Frankie family, man. And then, Zambai and Stone just cut him and they're like,
Wait,
"What? Who?"
there's a scene where Zoro's fighting them in the thing, and they're clocking. Chopper's running away, Nami's running away.
It's
Oh my
because they're
god.
trying to save Robin. They don't want to fight Baskerville. That was the main thing. Like they didn't want to fight this dude. He was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then that's when, everybody else is like, "Hey, like we got
Wait,
this,
wait.
y'all."
It says in response, Polly and Zambai each launched a killing strike, but only managed to cut Baskerville's clothing, leaving the actual trio split. But you know what probably happened? Because I watched this week to week like anime, like I watched this back in the day. I might have not watched the episode because I didn't have like DVR or whatever. I might have actually just not
Like it's
seen.
straight to DVD. Yeah, this only played on straight to DVD copies.
Yeah,
Baskerville is
like,
just an anomaly. He only exists on DVR.
yeah, because like if people like when people
Oh.
ask me like how do I remember this stuff, it's because I watched it and I have really good memory for that. And then when I read the
Yeah.
manga for main parts, I just applied the chapters to where that like it is in for the episodes and stuff. But like if I didn't watch it, that might explain why I don't know where the hell it is this happened. Because like now I'm looking at the scene that I'm like, I don't even remember this. I don't remember them running down the hallway with Baskerville after them like that.
Yeah,
This is
Baskerville is a
interesting.
monster, dude.
How did it go from that? I said that they
I'm
were cracked
kidding.
and
I'm
you were like
kidding.
they're ass, and now you're saying they're monsters.
Yeah. They had everybody running for the hills, according to Par.
The trio's victory was short-lived. However, as Kogoro proceeded to drive the just functional Rocket Man into the courthouse, aiming to, okay, I remember that part. To launch the straw straight over the thing, stunned by the sea train's sudden appearance, the trio tried to order it down and were promptly. No, they were only taken out by the train. They got ran over by a train. All right, that's
Oh,
fair.
Kokoro beat him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, train diff is crazy. This is Rocket Man, bro. That's kind of nuts. No one could beat them until Rocket Man showed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
If
that's
Kokoro never showed
crazy.
up, who knows who would have won that battle?
Yeah,
It's
because it
it
seems like
technically it's
Zoro had
undecided
to
then.
leave. Yeah, because the rumor has it that if the Frankie family did tell Zoro to go, Zoro would have stopped at Baskerville. He might have just stopped at
Zoro would have
Basker.
he wouldn't have fought Kaku, let me tell you.
Yeah, he would have. He would. He might not have made it to the Ville part. All I'm saying, he might have only fought Basker or Wait, it's not even Baskerville. It's Bass and Kerrville.
Best
Bass and
Best
Kerrville.
and Kerrville?
Yeah, because one of them is Bass, another one's Kerrville, and the one in the middle is and.
Huh.
Why not Bass, Kerr, and Ville, Oda? Why not? Why not that? Baskerville's already...
We don't ask those questions. Like, this is just, I think Baskerville is just one of those characters Oda made for fun. Like, nobody really cares about this guy.
Why did I bring up Baskerville?
You said you're a big fan of his.
No, I did. I said
No, you
that
said
they were...
no, you literally said we need more characters like Baskerville.
No, I didn't say
no. You
more
did.
characters.
You did. 100%. Go back. Everybody, go back. Timestamp it. Done.
No, I what did I say? I probably said like Hiredin's worse than Baskerville or something. Was that what I said?
No.
The Holy Knights.
You said the Holy Knights need people like Baskerville.
No, we were talking about the Pope. We were talking about the Pope, and you said Baskerville. That's what happened. Yeah, guys, go back.
Okay,
go
yeah.
back.
Why are we talking about the Pope? What are you, silly?
Yeah, because I said, what if it's church and state and separate it? I didn't bring up Baskerville. You did.
No, I didn't.
You brought him. Wait, didn't you?
No, you brought Baskerville. You brought him up by name.
Wait, all right, guys, tell us what happened because we have dementia.
No, I remember perfectly. That's
yeah, perfect. I remember the last time you said that you were wrong. It's funny because the other times
I don't think I was ever wrong.
Yeah, you were. They said in the comments. We literally said, "Tell us in the comments." And
yeah,
like,
what comments, Par?
Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna go through. I think it's like
what comments, Par? Sure. Yeah. It's funny. This reminds me of a horror game I'm playing where the character has like crazy dementia. Yeah.
What? How do you play a game that gives you? What was that? Oh, like, are you trying to help the character through the dementia?
No,
or
you're playing as the character with dementia, so everything's like super scary to her, and she's just misremembering everything.
That's so scary.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because she has like this crush on this YouTuber Aki Dearest, and it's like, wait, what?
What are the games that you play?
I don't know, man. Don't ask me. Why are you asking me? I don't know.
You brought it.
What the hell are you asking me for?
You said this reminds you of the game I'm playing, and proceeded to tell me the silliest plot line ever. Or that is, she couldn't have had a crush on like a celebrity. It had to be like some random YouTuber. Like, where are we at?
And then Aki Dearest gets like stuck in the Matrix, and you have to like free her. Aki Dearest looks at you, and she's like, "Guys, please save me." And it's like, whoa, okay.
Now you're making fun of the dementia patient.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. It's funny stuff. So, let me see here. Where were we in the chapter again? Oh, yeah, the Draugr. Killingham's nightmare monster drops down. Dude, this one's massive, brother.
No, side. Don't scroll. Stop.
Why?
Don't scroll.
Huh? What is it?
Stephen Paul is the greatest of all time, brother. Stephen, look at the last panel. Look now. Scroll.
Last panel?
Yeah, well, like the last page. What is that? What is the move name?
Nibelheim. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking Stephen Paul. Hey, guys, if you read the Viz official only, don't call it Niflheim. No. Get out of here with that shit, bro. Stay on your side with Nibelheim. Nibelheim, huh? That's fascinating, dude. Do you think Stephen Paul knows Norse mythology? Which, I mean, granted, I don't know Norse mythology either, but I at least know Niflheim. Come on.
Yeah. I have to see the raws to see if this is justified. Because like
I saw the raws. Dawn and Dusk commented, not on the Viz. Dawn and Dusk, please don't sell yourself on the Viz. Dawn and Dusk said that this is a made-up word, though. The word that Oda uses isn't a real Japanese word for Loki's attack. Apparently, it's called Primordial World. Like that's what it's actually like broken down into.
Oh, like the kanji is Primordial.
Yeah, it's Primordial World, which
what about
is
the katakana?
Niflheim.
The katakana, because P and B, yeah. If you have the
P, B, and J,
check the katakana. It's kind of crazy because the only thing that I can think of is Stephen Paul saying that it's nibble because of a pun with squirrels, like it's nibbling. But I would put that on hamsters more than squirrels. But I get it. But also, it's like
the people who fucking go with like Shaggy, right? people hear Shaggy and they're like, oh, their real name's actually Shaggy. It's just goofy.
That's interesting because
That's just
if the katakana has like the B in there, then I get it. But like if it doesn't, and this is a Stephen Paul original here, that's
I didn't
new.
realize too. You know how like we call them Inuarashi and Nekomamushi?
Yeah.
I didn't realize, but in the Viz, they don't have that name. They literally are just Dogstorm and Cat Viper.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that was the translation, but I didn't realize that like in the Viz official, they never once called him Inuarashi Nekomamushi. I was like, oh, I had no clue about that. And it's just so funny because it's one of those things where like people are saying, oh, it's official, it's got to be a thing. Dude, not even the anime dub goes with that though.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird because that's their name.
I don't know.
Like you don't translate the name.
Yeah, you don't
right?
translate the name. That's why like the whole Shaggy Mosa thing. It's like, guys, they're like the whole thing with Shaggy. Only the English dub goes with that. Keep in mind, the Viz has multiple languages: German, French, Spanish. Only the English did Shaggy. Everyone else went with Mosa.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with Mother Flame, right? Stephen Paul did Mother Frame. Every other translation did Mother Flame.
It's which is funny because I predicted Stephen Paul would go with Frame.
Yeah, you predicted Stephen Paul would fumble, and that's just the thing. It's like we can't take Stephen Paul too seriously. We can't put the Viz on like a pedestal. It doesn't make any sense to. Like we slander the Viz every chance we get for a good reason, and it's not because I hate the Viz. I think the Viz is so useful. It's just that it's not almighty. That's all it is.
Yeah, I feel like with Mosa, the cope would be like if it's like a nickname and you could translate the nickname, but even then, like we don't know, and it's like just safer if we were calling it someone like Mosa. Was it ever like Mosa Kun or something like that, or anything with an honorific?
Yeah, the
so there was like an honorific. Okay, so if they're like an honorific, then yeah, you're not gonna translate that. That would be weird. It's and like same thing here. Like if it's a B, sure. That's fine. But then if it's that, then spell it Nibble. What happened?
I'm just looking up Nibelheim now. Is that like a real thing?
No, I think it would be if he's doing a pun here, then he should do the full pun. He should spell it Nibble. If he's saying like,
funny enough, Nibelheim. Okay, strange.
No way.
No. It's not the Norse thing. It's a Final Fantasy thing. Nibelheim is the name of a Final Fantasy VII town. I was gonna say it looks familiar.
Oh.
Yeah. Nibelheim is a town in Final Fantasy VII. What's funny, by the way, is that Zoro and Sanji and the rest of the gang, they're still here. They're just hanging out. But if you go back to like chapter 1152, Luffy and Hyruden were like, hey, guys, go right on ahead. I'll catch up.
Yeah. And now they're up on the tree, but they should still be like they should be able to see this still.
Yeah, they see it. I mean, they're there for the conversation even.
Yeah. But then they started going up. Damn, they made it mad far super quick. What the hell?
Yeah, they went from like not going anywhere in 3 minutes to like going everywhere.
Yeah, 0 to 60, but like elevator.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. That is kind of how elevators work, but
it's kind of interesting. Just like, hey guys, go on ahead, and then they're like, well, the story seems kind of fun, and they just hang around anyways.
Yeah, and then Hyruden's like some of his crew should have been like, shut up, Hyruden, let it Scopper continue the story a little bit. Surely we're gonna need to know how to deal with this.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, especially since Scopper said it's relevant. Like, if Scopper didn't say the part of like, yeah, and you're gonna meet some of these only, like, if he didn't say that part, then like, oh yeah, this information isn't necessary. But since Scopper explicitly said that, it makes him like swatting away the extra information extra silly. Because it's like, wait, hold on, Hyruden.
What are we fighting here?
Yeah, the enemy is the nebulous enemy that not even Scopper and Shanks could fight back against. Because that's the part of the story that they did get. They got that part, that Scopper and Shanks could not put down Harold, and he kept on regenerating. And in the flashback that Loki was saying was just like, it's a mystery. I don't really know. And then there you have Scopper. It's like, hey, I could fill in the details actually. It's like, shut up, Scopper. We don't need that right now, Mr. Ya. Like,
Yeah, we
it's like,
got
wait,
fish
hold
to
on.
fry.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be the fish. Like, it's kind of interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah. So Loki says that they should go on ahead because he'll deal with the Draugr and that he can simply fly up later, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
It makes you wonder, like, is he the one who's gonna be flying? Is it Ragnar that's gonna fly for him, like the MCU, where Loki or not Loki, Thor like throws his hammer up and he just goes away? Like, it's hard to tell what is and isn't a Loki ability. Like the lightning, even now, right? Like, is the
Yeah.
lightning actually Loki, or is that just Ragnar? And then we have the ice powers in this chapter, and I feel like Oda makes it kind of obvious that this is actually a Ragnar ability because he says, "Hey, show him your power, Ragnar." And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, I don't know.
And the other thing too is, I kind of like the jump that TCB said. Viz went with the fly. I can fly up. I like the jump because pointed out on stream. It's kind of crazy, but when you look back at that flashback, a significant point that does get kind of mixed up, or not mixed up, kind of like pushed aside, is that Loki got to the castle really quickly. He got from the prison, got released, and made it to the castle. And we're actually shown in chapter 1152 at the beginning of that flashback where Jarl and Loki arrive at the castle. Jarl's coming in on a cloud ship, and Loki is shown with a giant, like he's midair landing on like where the castle steps are. And there's a giant arc line coming from it, implying that he jumped there. And that is before Ragnar, and that is before the Devil Fruit. And we have to acknowledge he got there really quickly. He got there faster than Yarul, who wasn't in prison, who had a ship, and he's like a VIP. Like, when you think about it like that, it's kind of like maybe the ability that like Loki's referencing here, like, you guys go on without me, I can get up there really quickly. He might have that on his own. It might not be related to the powers at hand. So it's kind of interesting even from that part. And I show that to Dax too. He didn't notice that. And he's just like, that's crazy because like that's such a small detail that it feels like, yeah, now that's meaningful. If this could be implied to be jumping in this thing, then it's like Oda having Loki jump there before all these powers. Maybe it's like a miss, like a red herring, like us applying it to his Devil Fruit or Ragnar. It's just like Loki just do that. And we're just like, oh, wait, what? He could just jump that high? Like, it's kind of wild where we're seeing Ragnar do stuff. And we have more questions than answers. Like, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, for the translations I read with the spoilers, it was always fly. I think it was just TCB that went with jump. So I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, Anfisa wasn't able to come to the thing to give clarity. But the fact that we see him jumping pre-power-ups is kind of like, huh.
I feel like jumping all the way to the Sun Realm is kind of crazy, though. If it's like a genuine jump.
But what you have to acknowledge is that he did get there. And it's not, no one brought him there. And he did actually get there from prison to the castle, which is even further. The Straw Hats had to cross the bridge to even get close to where Loki is right now. And that was a decent while too. Like, we saw Gerd and them running down, and that's a trek. So Loki like ran up and then jumped there. Like, it's kind of crazy how far or how fast he got there. It's not that short. All the other people like took ships. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're flying there in Sunstone ships and other stuff. Loki somehow got there that quickly. Is he just the fastest runner? I don't know, but Oda did show him jumping. That is canon. 1152, he is mid-air. There's the line there. There's no doubt he is jumping.
Yeah, no, I think he's a good jumper. I just don't know if he could jump from, like, the underworld to the Sun Realm, though.
Yeah. I don't think, and it's interesting because, like, there is the bridge. Technically, he could, like, run across it. But, like, then Oda made him, like, literally jumping there. And I'm like, that's so weird. That's such a weird thing. Because, like, yeah, he could run across
So
a bridge
wait,
and then
okay.
make it there.
So do you think he's actually just gonna jump up to the Sun Realm?
I,
So if you
I
are a
mean, with
betting
the
man, do you think he would jump up to the Sun Realm, or do you think he'll just fly? Because you're pushing this, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I see why. Like, it makes sense. Yeah, he has crazy
yeah,
jumping power, but do you actually think he's just gonna jump up to the Sun Realm?
if I were to bet, I think Devil Fruit is more likely his Devil Fruit.
He just
And then
flies.
weirdly enough, I think that his own physical abilities, he could just use that. Like, I think that is actually a close second. Like, before, like, throwing Ragnar and holding it on like Thor and
Yeah.
Marvel. Yeah, like Ragnar related, yeah. Which is funny because uh going back to like when we before Ragnar, before Ratatoskr or whatever, like Loki day one climbed the thing in a manner that would be what Ratatoskr would do, right? Ratatoskr is supposed to be climbing up and down the tree. That's what day one Loki did. And so it's kind of interesting when you think about it like that. Like day one, born out of the womb, crawled up the tree. Seemingly not, that wasn't the hardest part of it. The hardest part of it was seeing his mom not want him, right? Climbing up the tree was pretty easy for him. And so then it's like, could he make it up here by his own abilities at this age? I actually kind of think so, because he didn't have the Devil for most of his life. So do I think that he was this mobile all of his life? Probably. He had to figure out a way to get around. So it might be that he was able to do this, and he has full comfortability of getting around Elbaf without anyone's help. But again, like, as far as the chapter goes, like next chapter, is it possible we're gonna see him transform into a dragon fly up? Yeah, I think that's highly likely, but it's kind of crazy that, like, he did get around all this time and he did depict this. And, if one of the translations is jumping and I'm seeing him jumping, it's not that crazy to me,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's just gonna be a fly. I don't think he can jump from the underworld all the way to the Sun Realm. His jumping is crazy, I bet, but I think that's just too much of a jump. Unless he's like a kangaroo, then
Yeah.
that's a little bit different.
I think fly makes more sense contextually.
Yeah.
And it, like, I haven't seen the raws for this and what it would be. Because, like, I feel like if the word is jump really high, but like there's an implied flying meaning there, contextually I would go with fly because of what that would mean. Like, I can fly up to the sun realm. Well, jumping doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna, even if it's like a 20% of the time this word can mean fly, I'm leaning on that because that makes way more sense. We're on the precipice of figuring out his devil fruit, and most of the popular opinions are flying related, so it's like I would go with fly there.
Yeah.
The jumping might be like a literal thing and it doesn't make sense with it. But when I saw the jumping thing, I thought the people who said goat were probably right. I was like, yo, he's a mountain goat. He's just jumping off the side of the tree or something. Like, he's climbing the tree. Like, yeah, have you seen like the clips of the mountain goats climbing like a 90% incline like hill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, maybe he's one of those, but I
I've
don't know.
even
I
seen
don't
like
know.
AI
But
videos
then,
of that too, which is kind of funny.
oh, I've seen the ones where they go, like, the people have them going down the hill. I'm like, that's not real. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Immediately, I'm like, the goats are not flying down. They're like, the video I saw was like, and it was like very obviously AI, but it was so well done. And I was like, I'm not mad that people who are like very removed from like nature think that this is real, but like, I'm like, brother, these goats are paragliding.
Yeah,
If you
goats are
think
kind of
this
nuts,
is real.
man.
Yeah, not paragliding nuts. The goats, I want to show a mountain goat that video to see if they could start mimicking it to evolve into doing there. They look at the video like, shit, where are these mountain goats that can do this? I'm gonna try and we just start seeing mountain goats just fucking suicide off of the thing trying to do the video. One goat's gonna do it, right? It's like the story of the carp. The one carp made it to the top of the mountain,
Yeah,
the
there's
waterfall,
one goat
and
that's
became
absolutely cracked.
yeah, one goat makes it down the hill and it becomes uh bird. I don't know what it would become.
It had to be
Like,
something
what would,
mythical, like a griffin. Because the
oh,
carp
good.
turned into a
Ooh.
dragon, so we need to find like a
Yeah, yeah,
weird like
yeah.
equivalent.
Yeah, bird goat. Griffin. There we go.
Yeah. Bird, goat,
Yeah.
griffin. Maybe even like a centaur.
Oh,
A centaur would be kind of crazy, right?
yeah. Centaur with wings?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of cursed. A centaur
Yeah.
with
Not
wings. Huh.
that would just be a bird with a torso. A griffin with a torso.
Yeah. Yeah, and like a human head.
Yeah. Probably bald, right? They'd have to be bald, or would you give it hair?
No, I give it like long locks.
Oh, long locks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like something out of one of those like middle-aged woman like love fantasy books. Remember those? Yeah. It's one of
Yeah.
those.
I know. Mm-hmm. Good
So,
times.
let's see here. Oh yeah, I mean I guess that's pretty much it, huh? He uses
It's
wait,
just
no, Sanji. I forgot Sanji. Because they decided to stick around for the story, Sanji is now carrying Scopper Gaban, and it looks like
the
they're gonna go
silliest thing.
after their son. Yeah, a little bit silly. They're going after Colin now. Scopper's word for his boy. So this does set up the Sanji versus Sommers matchup, which is pretty nice. Still don't know who
Yeah.
Zoro's gonna fight. I think a lot of people are still on the Killingham route. I feel like that looks pretty good. And I would love to see like a continuation of that Conqueror's Haki conversation, because that's still a mystery.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like I think that's what Oda's doing here. He's just setting the stage for it. Like Sanji's gonna fight Saint Sommers, and then Scopper's gonna like coach him through it. Like, hey, like this is how you should do your Conqueror's Haki if you have it. I don't know.
It's just funny because Scopper's like Scopper's going up there and he's seemingly too injured to participate. So he's like, Chopper, like you're gonna operate on me. So instead of taking the boat with plenty of space and stationary location that seemingly is going fast enough, let's have the guy carry us. And it's like, if the point of Sanji going up there was that he's faster, then let him go alone. He'll be much faster. And you guys can still operate on Scopper pretty quickly, I'd imagine, probably better. Maybe you'd be able to operate him enough where Scopper could even help. And it's like, if Sanji's going that fast, then they shouldn't even be able to speak to each other if he's really going that fast in the middle of the air.
I mean, it's
But
anime. You can't use logic.
yeah, it's anime logic. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Oda handles Scopper. Scopper is out for the count? Is that what you're thinking, or do you think he participates?
I think he's out for the count. Unless like his son's about to die, I think Scopper's just gonna chill.
Yeah,
I
someone
think it's
said
gonna be like one of those things where it's like, leave it to the new generation. You know, the classic.
someone said I can't wait to see Scopper's named attacks. I didn't respond to them yet, but I was like, I don't know. They said looking forward to Mateo. He said looking forward to seeing Yasan's attack and their names, but I do have this is why I couldn't heart it, because it's not the N-word, but it's very close to it, and I'm like, I can't be seen liking this. But it says I have a niggling feeling that he might pass away. And I'm like, what
A
is
lot
that?
of people have been saying that. That
What is-
Scopper might
why?
die.
Oh, it might pass away. I don't know about the pass away part. Pass away, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't
especially
think he
with
needs
how
to die.
Yeah, the way Oda's handled Rayleigh kind of puts like the difference would be if Scopper very disagrees with Roger so much that he's like diametrically opposed from Rayleigh's point of view, where Rayleigh's kind of like, I don't want to affect the new era. Like, I'm there to protect certain things. And if
Yeah.
Scopper like disagrees with that, then maybe he passes away. But if he's doing it just like Rayleigh, then it's not going to be an issue. Rayleigh's literally like, yeah, I'm just showing up to flex to show some hockey here and there.
Yeah,
That's
just hanging out, doing my thing. Yeah. I don't think Scopper needs to like pass away by any means. I say keep him alive, have him raise his son, dude.
Yeah, they'd be sad for Colin. Colin has a ways to go too. I want to see him in the last. There's a world where Colin and Momo and
It's two piece.
Tama, they're all friends, you know?
Maybe they start a crew. Oh, that'd be kind of. I just feel like that's too like shoehorned in, you know, just like, hey, they have a crew together now.
Yeah, but it's better than It's better than the friends that like I mean, yeah, I guess like all the kids that are currently held hostage now, they understand the errors of their ways of bullying Colin into out of his warrior things, and like, man, maybe it's really important for us to have a knowledge of how to defend
Yeah,
ourselves
it's so
and stuff
stupid to
like.
think that it's not important. Like, what are you talking about? Like in the real world,
Yeah,
sure, yeah, kids don't have to like pick up weapons and shit and like learn how to fight. But in the One Piece world, where pirates exist, where devil fruits exist, where might is right, I mean, what are we doing? Fight, dude.
yeah, and so
What are
like
you
that's
dumb?
why I'm like Momo and Tama would be really good for what's his face to see, because Colin, because they're like Momo kind of went through it. Momo's just like
Yeah,
Momo got yelled at by Yamato, was like, I think it's time we surrender. And it's like everybody fought, you're gonna fight until you die too. Like there's no, and then so it's like, okay, so I'm a warrior till I'm dying. And that would be unfathomable for the kids on Elbaf. And that's where Colin's at. Collins, he would be birds of a feather with those Wano kids. The Wano kids would be looking at the Elbaf kids, be like, you mean to tell me you guys have the means to fight, the weapons to fight, the teachers to teach you, and you chose not to? Because on Wano, they couldn't do any of that. And they were forced away from it. And yet they found a way. So it's like, it's honestly, that's where like culture and change comes from. Have the kids meet. Hell, bring in Mocha. Mocha from Punk Hazard. She tanked all the kids beating her ass up. I'm sure if she knew some judo, she knew some karate, that would have came in handy, you know?
yeah. You know, I just thought about this. We forgot to mention it, but Loki's 8 years on the seas, wanting to attack the world government. What did that even look like?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Because like I've just ignored that.
He
At the
just
end of the
let it fly
day,
over your head, like, oh, you know what, whatever.
I could criticize that, like the potential there, because it's so confusing. But Oda didn't give it. I thought he was, the way the chapter is going, I thought we were gonna get it this chapter, but we didn't. And mainly because the Shanks Loki thing is now even crazier. People are like, "Oh, Par, if you think Loki's that strong, what does that say about Shanks?" I'm like, guys, Shanks could have used his whole crew. If Yasop's like on another
No,
dimension
no, no. Hear
sniping
me out.
him,
Hear me out. Loki had surviving soldiers. Yasop was fighting one of those guys. It's Loki's right hand man.
okay, Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo, you throw in all these dudes, and it's like one way or the other, Loki probably did not go down to just Shanks. And even then, like I wonder, like Loki's kind of like a really good guy. Like he's like a really, like, I feel like he's kind of like that big guy that like is conscious of how strong he is, so he like he doesn't want to like straight up squash people
Yeah.
unless they are like alcohol village. But the reality is he had every right to raise that village down to the ground from day one. You know what I mean? Like he
It
had the
was his
motivation
birthright.
since, yeah. And so like all you need to do is go there to like understand, like imagine this, guys. Before Ida gets poisoned, Loki goes back to his mother's land, and they go there, and it's like, your uncle was such a great man. We were cheering him on every day. Loki would slaughter them then too. You know what I mean? We don't even. That's how spooky Loki's backstory is. We don't even know what happened to Uncle. Like we don't know. like,
Or the horse. The
like
horse
he
was
could
such
have.
a weird casualty.
Yeah, it might have been that Sleipnir was trying to defend the uncle. Like at that point, like it's like, no, not the uncle. Like this
He
is your
feeds us.
family. Yeah, yeah. And Loki's just like, if you're gonna stand by him, like we don't know the state of the uncle's body, even. You know what I mean? They just said we found him at the bottom. They said he's dead, but we don't know. We didn't run an autopsy. We don't know shit, bro. But the main thing is they didn't know who did it. That's some crazy nonsense, because we know that it was like an 8-year-old Loki that did it. How crazy could have his body been that they couldn't put two and two together? Loki's with this guy 90% of his
Like the
life
Bay
and
Harbor
went
Butcher.
missing. It's just like, it's just crazy. So it's like Loki does have restraint, and he's demonstrated even that he does. I want to know what the uncle did. The Loki could have killed the. I think the Loki could have killed the uncle probably like 2 years into living. When did the uncle die? Probably like what 5 years in?
Yeah,
Something.
probably like 5-6 years in.
Which is insane. That's a 2-year-old. He got killed by a toddler.
Yeah, I don't think we have the exact timeline of when Loki killed his family.
Yeah, and so like going back to the Shanks thing, like I'm curious about that fight. I don't know if it's a 1v1. I don't have any. I don't know.
I think it was a pure 1v1 where it was just them on an island, and they gave each other rules that they followed.
Okay. And the rules ended up sounding very similar to a Davy back fight.
No. And it was a bloodlusted battle as well.
Wait, it was probably a Davy back fight.
You think so?
Yeah, because Loki loved rocks. So when Rocks went to deal with certain things with people that he didn't want to kill, he went to do Davy back fights. That's how he got all his crew. Loki surely knew that. So he probably did it with Shanks, and he might have lost. That would actually make a lot of sense.
That'd be so funny.
God.
I mean, it brings back the theory of like, oh, if Luffy ever fights Shanks, it's going to be a Davy back fight. It's not going to be a real battle.
Dude, that might be why he calls him a scammer. If it was a Davy back fight, Shanks like pulled a fast one on something. It's like, well, you didn't say I couldn't use. Like, imagine this, right? I'm not saying this is what happened, but imagine this. Like, Shanks goes, you didn't say I couldn't use both my arms in this one, because like Loki might have made a thing where it's like, aha, you have one arm, and then like Shanks activates his like a mark for a second, pulls back his arm.
Yeah.
Then Loki's just like, you were a god knight this entire time, you scammer. And it's like something like that, you know, that would be kind of, and that would explain why he hates him again or whatever. It could be something like that. But that part aside, I'm going to be thinking about that. It still does not fix that if Loki had 8 years on the ocean, where did he go? Everywhere he goes, he wins. He doesn't lose.
That's like one of the biggest things. What if we learn? How about this? We're looking for a God Knight W. I think it all ties back in. The God Knights were beating Loki's ass for 8 years in a row.
No, Loki said it. Loki said, if I ever... No, this is actually even sillier. Loki said, if I ever came across one of those guys, I would have been king of the pirates already, or king of the world already, which is insane, which means that the Holy Knights were ducking him. They were ducking
I don't think they were
ass.
ducking him. I think what it is that the Holy Knights just didn't leave home. They're just like, oh, we're chilling. Like, why? No, it's one of those things, like, they live sedentary lives. Like, why would they leave?
Well, we know that they don't live sedentary lives because they were spawn dying on Scopper.
Well, I mean, they live sedentary lives now.
Oh, because of post Scopper and post Harold dying.
That's
he was
slander.
like, yeah, you guys are all in house arrest.
That's just slander. You're just being mean-spirited now.
Yeah, Emu told the Holy Knights not to do anything because Emu was just like, we don't know where Joy Boy is. Joy Boy could be out there. I don't want to lose you guys. Oh, that'd be crazy if it was all just... That's the reason why the Holy Knights and the Gorse haven't affected history, period, in the entire 800 years. They haven't done anything out of fear. Maybe that's the whole point of the games. It was just like, oh, like I can't keep them cooped up all the time. I'm gonna give them one field trip every 3 years. That could be the real reason why those exist.
Could be. I wouldn't mind that,
dude. Yeah, again, like the Shanks Loki
and stretch your legs, boys. Be like, hell yeah, thank you, Dad. It's an emu sanctioned vacation
thing. The Shanks Loki thing is like one part, but given how strong Loki is, and even there was a perspective you said, like, what if Shanks had to restrain Loki because he was just going nuts? It's like, okay, but he was on the sea for 8 years, and he stopped him.
What did he accomplish?
Yeah, why was he out there? Was he just chilling? Was he trying to find a girl? Like, was that what it was? Like, his dad found Ida out there, and now he's like trying to find his Ida. Is that what it was? Well, maybe he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna settle in somewhere else, and he like maybe there's an island that Loki like just chilled at.
It'd be so funny if, like, yeah, this entire time he was just simping for Lola. He was just like, actually, that Lola girl, let me go find her. Maybe he's just looking for her the entire time.
I think the squirrel would like Lola. I wonder if Lola said anything about nuts in or squirrels in Punk Hazard. That'd be insane.
There were the Risky Brothers, which were her companions who were turned into squirrels. They had squirrel zombies.
Like they were. I remember them, but
yeah, they were squirrel zombies.
And they were with her though. Oh yeah, they carried the coffins.
Yeah,
those squirrels.
Lola didn't know about them, but yeah.
Okay. Damn, that would have been nuts if she like was with those squirrels, and then Oda does this whole thing with Loki and the squirrel. Oh my god.
You know, it makes you kind of wonder too. It's like, okay, if that was a hint all along, like, oh, you know, the Risky Brothers were a hint to Ragnar, then Lola's zombie could be a hint towards Loki's fruit, which was a hog.
You know, you guys listen to these calls for the 2-3 hours in here. The poetry of Lola turning into a warthog, and then that being Loki's fruit, and then when they separate, Lola's shadow is put in a warthog. It'd be kind of crazy, or even wilder. It would be that like his devil fruit is like what Absalom tried to make of himself, which is like a chimeric lion-faced like elephant skin. It's like a chimera, right? Like Loki could be a chimera, and that would also be poetry. Like Lola was feral for Absalom, and the irony would be that like Loki was that whatever Absalom was trying to make of himself.
So I'm looking it up right now. There's 3 key Norse mythological boars. The first one is Sahirmir, which is a boar that resurrects daily for the gods and fallen warriors to feast on in Valhalla. So it just endlessly respawns to die. That's kind of cursed. The second one
sucks.
The second one is Hildsvini, which is Freyr's boar. Yeah, it's Freyr's boar, which he rides into battle.
Yeah.
And it's also ridden by Freya, the sister, as well. And then there's Gilini Bursti, which is a cursed name. A boar with golden bristles crafted by dwarves for Freya. Or for Freyr, sorry, Freya, who could run over water and air, or illuminating the dark. So if Loki's one of them, it'd probably be the last one.
Yeah, Gullen Bursty, bro. This is
Gullen Bursty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would explain the flying, the, you know, running over water and air. Illuminating the dark would be obviously like, you know, Nika powers where it's like light versus dark. Yeah. Gullen, guys, don't sleep on Gullen Burstini.
Oh, this is a good point. This boar is also known as Sior Gntani, which means sharp tooth. Which that would be really good because Ratatoskr is supposed to be drill tooth. So if they are together.
Wait a minute.
Oh, and Warthog would be nice because then we know who his opponent is. Warcurry, whose name was supposed to be like a pun on Valkyrie or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Didn't people say that? Yeah. And Valkyries were Norse.
I like the Gullen Burstini route. I think the only hangup I have is that we just got a warthog with Warcurry, so I was like, do I want another boar? Because Warcurry has my least favorite design. I'm like, I don't know, dude. The boar is like, it's so basic. But I guess like if it's a Norse, like, you know, mythological boar, it could look pretty crazy.
Guys, if in the 11th hour of our discussions around, we went from like I don't know if you did this on your channel, but on the stream, we had so many people come up with like from, yes, Dragon Nidhogg, from Rooster Chicken, Bird, people were Eagle, Hawk, and then we have Wolf, Fenrir, there's another one. We had goats, we had I think some snakes. We also had that one, the tree thing.
You sound like a flea market, just over here selling just exotic animals. Yeah, we got snakes, we got goats, we got dragons, man. What you want, man? Come on.
We had the tree people. It was like the group guy, you know, like I forgot what they're called. You said that.
Lushy,
that,
yeah.
I forgot there was two others, and none of those guys. It's goddamn Warhawk. If it gets revealed that this is,
And you gotta
please
imagine,
guys,
this is such a
clip us.
stupid like reveal that it'd be just so Oda coded. Like the boar is so dumb. I could see Oda doing it. It sounds like a diss, but Oda does really weird things.
Yeah, and I'd like to throw out that the way we got here isn't that insane. Lola turning into the boar and her being like literally the last mystery Oda left of Loki. What did he do in that 8 years? And it seems like because the other part is Lola would have been 14 at this point. So like if she were 16, that's 2 years into the trip. That's perfect Oda age for when he starts throwing these women into the weddings, right? Pudding was there, Shiroshi's there. So it's like Lola doing that, saying no, turning into a warthog. Kind of crazy. So my alternative in that spot is just like the whatever Absalom is, and I think that's just Chimera, which also could work. Chimeras can fly, so like that could work. But the warthog route, kind of awesome. If I go back
sense.
and I see a panel where Lola is a warthog with the squirrels around her, it's locked in. I'm locking that shit in, bro. But Nidhogg is out of here. Fenrir is out of here. Gullen
Let me see.
Bursty,
Is there like a
baby.
picture of Gullen Burstini? Which it's not Burstini. It's Gullen Bursty.
Bursty.
Yeah, I see
it's not
Burstini because it sounds funny.
Goddamn Pokemon. There is a picture, 1901. It's behind Frey. Not the person. It's not Freyr is the lady, right?
Freya's the lady, Freyr's the guy.
This Freyr is a blacksmith? No, fertility piece. Wait, is this the same Freyr? This doesn't look like a girl. I'm not like putting pronouns here, but this isn't the Freyr I know. Interesting.
I typed in Freyr. I just see like a silly statue, like this really badly done statue. What the hell is this? I don't know, man. It looks Egyptian at that point.
That's the elder.
If you just type in Freyr into Google and you look at like the second, at least from our IPs, we have like this weird stone statue thing, and I just feel like whoever made it did them dirty.
Yeah, Freyja is the lady. The name literally means the lady. Yeah, Freyr is this weird golem looking ass motherfucker.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know.
Yeah, well, was he always the golem then?
I don't know, but this sure as hell ain't like if you're telling me this is the same species as like Odin and Thor, I don't know what we're doing. To people who are too lazy to look this up, just think of a party hat. And like the top and bottom are both that shape, and the top is literally just the party hat, and his eyes come through the party hat, like the cone party hat type of thing you got when you're like went to a 5-year-old birthday party.
We're just making fun of this guy now. And if the gods are real, he's probably gonna smite us later, dude.
Yeah, so he gets a glow up. Though, if you go on the wiki page for Gullen Bursty and Frey are depicted in this painting, and that Frey is not the same guy.
He's like an actual warrior.
Yeah. His stature is impeccable because he's hiding some part. Like, I don't know how big this boar is. Like, where's the back? Oh, the boar is sitting. Huh. Interesting. I mean, the boar doesn't get like too much focus here, but also at the same time, this could be the route Oda goes.
Yeah.
Lola Warthog. I'm gonna Google the picture.
It's a shoo-in, dude. It can happen. Lola was a hint. I like how it's like you said, right? The 11th hour, like near the end of these videos, we just drop one good idea. 2 hours of just straight bullshitting. 1 minute of good theory crafting. That is the Sai and Par classic. You guys know how it is.
I think if Loki's a warhog, we have to throw a party. Like that's an insane pull.
It's a stupid pull.
But it's also insane. Everybody's focused on this, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone even posture towards warhog.
Okay, to be fair though, the silhouette we had last chapter doesn't look like a warthog. It does look like a dragon.
No, but if you did the snout, then the top part could make sense. And it wasn't like a warthog like Warcurry, it was like a regular warthog. Then that snout could make sense. And the running depiction, that
What do you mean by snout?
Okay, like if you look at the top part,
yeah,
oh, it's 1170, yeah. So the silhouette. Let's look at the silhouette. Where is it? It's right. Wait, where is the silhouette?
it's during the King Harold montage fight. It's like bottom left. Because he doesn't have a snout. Okay.
So you see the two horn part?
Yeah.
Like the two horn, that's like Loki, right?
Yeah.
Underneath that, Oda hid the front. So I'm saying like if it were like let's say this was hybrid, right? Oh, there is a tail though, right? Is that a tail?
What do you mean tail?
Are you on Weeb?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so on the right side, does that go? Oh, is that Harold's shoulder or is that? Oh, that's Harold's shoulder. Never mind. Because it's like split up.
He's like
on my thing,
picking up his head. Yeah.
Okay. So underneath the horns, Oda hid the mouth, but also like that could be the snout part of the warthog if he were in hybrid, and those horns are Loki's horns. Like if he's in hybrid, that part that's hidden by the fire cloud.
Oh, I don't think it's funny. I don't think there's anything hidden by it. I think that's just it.
Wait, but the shadow goes into the fire.
Yeah, but I feel like it just goes to a point and that's it. Like I don't think there's too much more to that. I don't think it's a snout. Okay. I think that's actually just Loki's goatee.
I looked at it as that part is hiding. Like if we had that part, we would know the difference between dragon, wolf, or whatever. Because this is in hybrid. At least from my point of view, him having these horns like this, like I just feel like he's in hybrid of some sort. And so like I was looking at it as that mouth, if we got that, we would be able to know definitively. And it could, I see what you're saying though. It could just be like an extension thing. We don't necessarily know. I just think that Oda put that fire thing very conveniently over probably the most important thing for us to know from a silhouette what this was.
I just feel like it's his goatee because like, you know, facial features, they usually carry over to hybrid forms. I just feel like his goatee is just accentuated. That's like really sharp.
Wait, so then where does so you're saying so then if this is dragon, so then what are those are his horns still?
Yeah.
And the snout is up top? Like where if this is dragon, right? Like a Nidhogg, you're saying that extension into the cloud is the goatee, so the mouth is up top, and the two things that point out, that's his horn still, or are those?
Yeah,
what are those?
I think it's gonna be like the mouth runs along the side. Like you wouldn't see the snout or the mouth like in this silhouette because it's like it's shadowed out.
Okay,
I just think, I mean, at least my interpretation is that that's just the goatee just going like this.
I see. I look at it as that that's the mouth. The mouth is hidden by the thing, and if Loki having the goatee, it would be also there. Maybe not as big as like Loki's is, but we don't necessarily know what this is. But in that's why I was like, okay, like, because then the top of the head is where the horns come from, and then the face carries down. And so if it was dragon, it would have the dragon mouth there. If it was a wolf, the wolf thing, I think I sent you what I thought, then that would be there. And if it was warthog, it would also fit. That's why, like, with the bird ones, it was kind of harder because, like, the beak doesn't really make sense. In either version of ours, the beak wouldn't make sense because the way the horns are. But, yeah, that's where I'm looking at it. If it's a warthog, then the face is, like, downwards. The horns are up here. His tusk would be here. His eyes would be, like, looking, like, downwards towards him rather than it being at the top. Interesting. No, it's a good thing that we did that, though.
Yeah, I feel like the face is going to be really interesting when we see it. I think it's a good silhouette, though. I think out of all the silhouettes we've gotten so far in One Piece, this is near the top. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one to, like, speculate about. Better than the Gorosei, who, they were just blobs. Since Loki's whipping out this attack, or should I say Ragnar's whipping out this attack, can you see Loki and Ragnar whipping out the other 9 realms? Or the other realms?
Yeah, I think Ratatoskr might be that. Like, I think Ratatoskr alone might be that because if I think way I'm looking at it is that lightning attacks could not have been Loki because he had the sea stone on him.
Yeah.
So when he slammed the hammer on the tree, that lightning had to have been Ragnar. And so that lightning, if that's Ragnar, and this ice thing is Ragnar, then that means that Ratatoskr, or we're just calling him that at this point, but Ragnar, um, if it were Ratatoskr, which it looks like Ratatoskr, the name Ratatoskr means drill tooth, but Oda added like the buck teeth, like drill tooth kind of aesthetic to it. I mean, like I wouldn't be upset if I was wrong, but like my God, if we're wrong on the Ratatoskr thing, like what is it? You know what I mean? It's a squirrel. It fits all the things, checks all the boxes, and the only thing that really makes sense because I had said that I unironically said that Loki might have these ice powers, but we know that these ice powers are not from Loki. Last chapter, I said that all the people saying Nidhogg, I was saying if it's Nidhogg, then he would have like cold wind like powers or freezing powers. And then we get hit with Ragnar has it. And the only way that makes sense is if Oda does something like Ratatoskr is the squirrel that traverses all the realms. So by that fact, that means that he's also like can wield the powers of those realms too, which is because he adapted to them. I don't know, because if at the end of the day we have to say that Ragnar kind of like outpowers like Kuzan and Enel. Like these are insane depictions of what we're seeing. Like Kuzan freezing this large of an object, yeah, it's not that hard, but also this would be an insane feat. Like pull this back to Marineford, you would have everyone in awe. They'd be like, oh my God, he froze the tidal wave. Ragnar can do that too. Enel's trying to nuke Skypiea. Ragnar probably do that too. Like it's kind of nuts when you think about it. I think like, yeah, like this is
And
all
it's all
Ragnar.
just a cute squirrel.
Yeah, a squirrel that's debatably stronger than Kaido besides the Conqueror's Haki. But hey, if he could do this and that, maybe the reason why Oda kept holding Stopper back from saying all the truth is so that the squirrel doesn't get stronger. Like, I don't know if Oda can handle the squirrel being stronger than this. But if the hammer is sentient, I feel like it could get Haki. If this isn't already Haki, I don't even know.
Oh yeah, I mean, considering it's like living, I think the Haki route is it's definitely on the board. I mean, I like the theory. It sounds silly, but Ragnar's just a black squirrel. Like it's a black blade squirrel. Do you think Ragnar is a supreme grade blade?
I mean, he should be. He should be.
He should
like,
be.
If it's not, then it should be like the ultimate grade blade. Like, right? Like, yeah. Fujitora has a supreme grade blade. Yeah, right. Ooh, yeah. No, I'm fine with putting this a tier above that. Like Yoru is a supreme grade cursed blade. Like let's set it aside from Fujitora by adding the cursed part. I don't know. But when Hundo or the black blade part, that's what says aside from Fujitora's, because his isn't a black blade.
Yeah.
It's just a supreme grade. Mihawk's a supreme grade black blade. So now let's make this like a supreme grade cursed blade, or just make a new tier, because there's no sense not to. It'd be
shocking if it wasn't supreme grade.
Yeah. This is beyond belief. It's funny though you said black squirrel, because when I figured out black squirrels exist in my area, I started looking out for them. They're like shiny Pokemon. So I've come across them.
Black squirrels exist.
Yeah, like at the Bronx Zoo, you can see a few of them. So my son's like, look, it's a squirrel. And it was a black squirrel. I was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, you found a shiny squirrel. Because, yeah, it was just a funny thing. And he's like, shiny black squirrel.
Black. Yeah.
This black squirrel's,
that's cool.
Does Japan have black squirrels?
I didn't know squirrels they're like black squirrels exist.
Yeah, black squirrels. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow, yeah, it's sick as hell. What?
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah, they got aura, man. I never knew.
I don't even like squirrels. Yeah.
I like
squirrels are like there's a thing at like Harvard at the campus there. The squirrels are menaces. They're so acclimated to humans that they just like rob you, bully you, do whatever. They're not afraid of people, right? And it's just like, it's crazy because like I don't really like squirrels, but that definitely changed when I saw those squirrels. I'm like, yo, these squirrels are messed up. And then I discovered black squirrels. I'm like, oh, you guys get the pass though. These squirrels,
Yeah, they're doing a lot
woo!
of good PR for the squirrels out there, let me tell you.
Yeah, they get the pass for sure. Hard R on those squirrels.
Yeah, you know it.
Squirrels. Yeah.
So on that note, that's where we're ending off, guys. Let us know your thoughts on black squirrels, Ragnar, Supreme Grade Blades,
Is Ragnar
Gully
a black
Burstini?
squirrel with a hard R?
Yeah. We'd love to hear all those thoughts and opinions down below. You guys take care,
Yeah.
and see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.